everyone. Welcome. My name is Lacey Jane, and this is Criminally Confident. I am so excited to have you here today. I know that you could be literally 100 other places, but you've chosen to spend some time with me, and I am so incredibly grateful for that. So thank you. Shout out to my mods. Thank you for always pitching in and helping me. And I am crazy over this case. We are on days 2 and 3 of the Suzanne Mericle case, and this is based out of Georgia. She is being accused of unaliving her boyfriend, live-in boyfriend, in their very extravagant home on Bayshore Drive. That is a lake property. That's, I believe it's Hull County, and if my memory serves me correctly. And the defense is saying that she simply acted out of fear for her life, and what happened was a result of self-defense. It has been crazy. It has been wild. Day 2 was pretty quiet, and in using my best decision-making skills, I decided that we were going to skip over some of the testimony. And by some, I mean like 4 hours worth. It was guns, learning about them and how they work. We've seen this testimony a million times, y'all. It is cell phone extractions, and nothing juicy on the cell phone extractions, like nothing crazy. And then we get to a really good witness at the end of day 2, which happens to be James's ex-wife. And so I am excited to play that for y'all. Let me go ahead and say hey to everyone who is here in the chat. If you are watching on replay, please make sure to drop a line in the chat, whether it be a sentence or a emoji. It helps the algorithm greatly, and I love knowing that you guys are watching on replay. If you are watching live, have you hit the thumbs up button yet? And are you subscribed? It's free to do both, and it helps me get this live presentation of sorts in front of as many eyes as possible. So with that, I see Willa's here. Hey, you're always so sweet. Here we go indeed. Yes. I don't know what Happy Friday is. If you meant like happy hour, then I would go to happy hour. But, you know, you can always watch on replay. But we're happy to have you here. Hey, Mitchell. Thank you so much for helping mod this afternoon. And Ruth Ann, hello. Sorry I was a few minutes late. It's like every minute in the day, I was like 3 minutes past. I couldn't explain it. It just felt like today went super, super fast. So I found myself looking at my watch and it said 3:59, and I yelled an expletive and got in here. So with that, oh, it's Friday and I'm happy. I guess that we will allow that, sir. And I am so happy that you are happy. Happy, healthy, blessed, and here to see what's going on with this woman. If this is your first day with us, make sure that you take note of the fact that this is a two floor courtroom. So the media is only allowed up above, and because of that, we are unable to see a lot of what's going on the screen. But I've been checking Court TV and Law and Crime to make sure that I see any excerpts of the videos so that I can play it for you guys. If that makes sense. Hopefully it does. All right, let's get started with this. Court is in session.
Yes, Judge.
You're excused. Thank you for your testimony. Call your next witness.
They called Officer Brandon Melton.
Oh, no, we are starting with Melton.
It's
short and sweet, but it's important. He was involved with her domestic call that happened earlier in the year, the same year that this horrible situation with Jane transpired. Where is this guy?
Welcome, come on up.
If you could, officer, raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony you'll give the court the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. You can take a seat. Would you go ahead and state your name?
Brandon Melton,
And how are you employed?
Glenn County Police Department,
Where's Glenn County?
Brunswick, Georgia.
And would that be St. Simon's Island?
St. Simon's is in our jurisdiction, yes.
Okay. How long have you been working for Glenn County?
April will make my second year.
So you started April of 2024?
Correct.
And what's your role in Glenn County? Are you patrol, investigation, something
Patrol
else?
officer.
Patrol. Officer, were you working on February 1st, 2025?
I was,
And did you respond to an incident at 1015 Beachview Drive on that day?
yes.
What kind of incident were you responding to?
It was a third-party reported possible domestic. So basically what that means is someone residing inside the condos heard a disturbance from another room, called police because they were
And if
concerned.
you don't know, domestics
At that
are
point, when you responded to the scene,
absolutely
did you have any information as far
all
as
you can go
like,
on as a
what the
police
disturbance
officer.
was, what the domestic could be, or just that it was a third-party report of a possible domestic?
Yeah, the third-party just reported that he heard yelling coming from a room above his.
Okay. So what happened when you got on scene?
Initially,
Who are
myself and another
you?
officer made our way to room 305. We could hear some loud talking.
All right.
Knocked on the door, introduced myself as Glenn County Police Officer. A white female identified as Miss Mericle opened the door. I'm supposing boyfriend would be the correct term to use. Mr. Barron was standing behind her. We told her, a little quick synopsis that someone had called for hearing a disturbance and was just there to check it out. Initially, she told me that everything was fine. She didn't need cops. And I could tell on her face that she had been crying. She looked emotionally upset. So I asked her again, if everything was fine, because I was finding doubt in, her statement. She told me everything was fine again. And then at that point, since Mr. Barron was right behind her, our typical protocol when you're responding to potential domestics is to separate the parties. So I had her step outside of her apartment. We closed the door and I asked her again, what was going on. And she told me everything was fine. But just a few seconds after that, she kind of started crying more emotionally and became more upset. I do remember noticing that her cheeks were pretty red. At the time, I was concerned that could have been, potential pressure marks or something. As it turned out later in my investigation, it was just from excessive rubbing from crying.
No.
But back to that main topic.
I'm glad someone said, are they all on meth? Why are they talking so fast? So I run my streams. Since we have so much to cover, I typically do 1.5. But when it comes to the South, I absolutely do 1.5 because they talk real slow. I am willing to barter 1.25 just because you pointed it out. Hopefully that helps.
She stated several times that everything was okay, but then obviously things wasn't okay. So I told her, obviously things are not okay. You're upset, you're emotional, you're crying. I can see that you've been crying for a few moments just from your demeanor. And she opened up and grabbed my hand and put it to the back of her head. Instantly upon touching her head, she had a large contusion on pretty much center of the back of her head.
And I don't mean to interrupt. So while you're having this conversation with her, you said that there was another officer with you?
Yes.
Where was he?
He was standing to the right of me on the outside of the door at that moment.
And at any point, do you and the other officer separate?
Yes. Just as soon as the contusion was located on her.
Josh, would you be willing, if I sent you an invite, would you be willing, ow, don't bite me, to jump on? You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. I would just love to hear what the court experience was like and your thoughts and feelings on the trial so far. If you don't want to, it's totally fine.
A few seconds later, he went ahead and stepped inside to start talking to Mr. Barron, typical protocol.
So he's inside talking to Mr. Barron and you're outside talking to Ms. Mericle.
Correct.
So she, you notice a bump on her head. Did she indicate how she got that bump?
Yeah, she told me that she had slipped and fell.
And did she say how she fell?
Slipped and failed.
Again, she was very emotional. So it took several times of me asking her, how'd you get the bump? I asked her, was she hit? If Mr. Barron had hit her, if anything had hit her in the head, because it was a huge, huge bump, probably the size of a softball. It filled up the palm of my hand. Nothing that was just you bump your head on something lightly. And eventually she told me that she was standing on the inside of the door, preventing Mr. Barron from coming in. the time that she went to walk away from the door, he shoved the door. She was holding her purse and a to-go bag from a restaurant that they had just left from, and she slipped on the tile floor, fell backwards, and struck her head on the floor, which is why she ended up getting that. I apologize. That is an alarm. May I take a second to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Yes, please.
Because it is on silent except for an alarm.
Did you take your medication? Did you call your mama?
I apologize. That will not happen again.
No worries.
So back in February of 2025, you had said that you started at Glynn County in April of 2024.
Yes.
And so this was February of 2025. So from April 24 to February 25, is that how long you've been in law enforcement at that point?
Correct.
Were you, had you already gone through all of your field training, or were you still in active field training at that point?
I was in active field training.
Oh, wow.
So you were in field training at the time of February 2025. The officer that was with you, what was his name?
Officer Wooten.
And was Officer Wooten there for any particular reason as far as your training, or are you guys just partners? Like, what was the reason for him being with you?
He was my field training officer.
Okay, so Officer Wooten was your field training officer, and then you were in field training.
Correct.
So she says that she's trying to keep him from coming in, and then she falls and hits her head. Did you ever do any, I guess, follow-up investigation, if you will, to try and confirm the story that she gave you about how she injured her head?
We did not.
Did you go inside the residence at all?
Yes. After my investigation with her, me and her stepped back inside. Well, I stepped back inside with Officer Wooten to consult with him to see what was going on.
Josh,
and
message me on
she stepped in with me.
Did you know anything about, like, she mentioned to you that the floor was slippery, or that there's something that she slipped on and fell? I think
Yes.
you would testify to. Did you know anything on the floor that was slippery that she fell on?
Yes. One of the tiles directly in line with the door did have some kind of slippery residue on it. Later upon reviewing our body camera footage, there was spilt food that was in the to-go box that Mr. Barron had cleaned up prior to me entering.
And did you,
Agnes?
what did she note that she hit her head on? Like the floor, some other surface?
Yeah, she said that she fell directly backwards and struck her head on the tile floor.
And did you call for her to receive medical treatment for the bump on her head?
I did.
And did EMS or somebody come and provide medical treatment for her?
They did. They assessed it. They offered to transport her to the hospital, and she refused.
Did she ever indicate you that Mr. Barron had physically, like, assaulted her that night?
Actually, while we were outside separated from Mr. Barron and Officer Wooten, she stated to me multiple times that he was a great guy. He had never hit her. Then she brought up a prior ex-boyfriend.
And so moving on from that, so while you were speaking with Ms. Mericle, I think you had stated that Officer Wooten was speaking with Mr. Barron.
Correct.
Did you ever have the opportunity to, I guess, also witness Mr. Barron and his demeanor that night?
I did when me and Ms. Mericle stepped inside.
And what was his demeanor that night?
He was very calm and collected. Several times, Ms. Mericle would get more upset, and then he would speak out to her and try to coax her and calm her back down. But during the entire investigation there, he was calm and collected. He didn't seem aggressive. There's no anger that I could detect with him.
Was anybody arrested for the incident that occurred that night?
They were not.
How did you ultimately make that determination not to arrest anybody?
Based on Ms. Miracle's statement to me separated from Mr. Barron, and Mr. Barron's statement to Officer Wooten separated from Ms. Mericle, when me and Officer Wooten consulted, basically they give both of us almost mirror stories of the incident. It was called in from a third party, so that kind of eliminated the process that they knew that we were coming, so they didn't have time to collaborate a story to our knowledge. And based on that, Mr. Barron's demeanor, Ms. Miracle's demeanor, there was no primary aggressor. And at that point, we just had to go off the facts and circumstances and their statements. Their statements were, it was a simple accident. He pushed the door. She didn't move in time. She slipped and fell, hit her head.
How many domestic violence incidents would you say that you've responded to as a patrol officer?
Since then or during that time?
Let's say since then, since you started in law enforcement to now, about how many domestic violence incidents would you say you've responded to?
Hey, Jess.
Probably 50 or more.
Of those times that you've responded to domestic violence incident, has there ever been a time where the alleged victim of that incident basically indicated to you that everything was fine, nothing happened, but it was clear to you that something had happened?
Yes.
Is that something that you've seen before, where someone might be clearly physically injured but insists that they're fine and nothing ever happened to them?
Well, each domestic has its own set of circumstances, but yes, it's definitely something that happens a lot.
Yes.
Not, again, each one of them is different, so it's hard to compare one to the next, but it is a fact of circumstances that does happen.
And in those situations where that's happened, where a victim has basically adamantly denied being physically abused. Have you ever arrested anyone in those situations?
I have.
And even though the victim said nothing happened and I'm fine, you still ended up determining that there needed to be arrest in those situations?
Correct.
What was different about those situations versus the situation you responded to with Ms. Mericle and Mr. Barron on the night of February 1st?
The circumstances that deviated from Ms. Mericle and Mr. Barron was normally when you separate the parties and you question each other and then you come back and you restage your questions, you can usually see their demeanor has changed. Most of the time when they're coming up with an elaborate story, there's little tales that you catch, so you ask them one way and then you come back and you ask them another way. And somewhere in that story, if it's not 100% honest, usually you can detect where they're being dishonest. Sometimes when you're talking to them, the primary aggressor will get reamped up again and show you signs that they're the ones that actually couldn't let things go. With Mr. Barron and Ms. Mericle, that's not the case. Again, outside when Ms. Barron separated from Mr. Barron, Ms. Mericle separated from Mr. Barron, where he could not hear anything she was saying. She continued to tell me that he was a great guy. He never hit her, that she didn't want him to leave from the apartment when I asked if she wanted him to go.
I think the reason why this is so important and why I really wanted to show you is because, not a month later, not even, she ended up committing this act that resulted in the end of Mr. Barron's life. And a lot of people probably immediately went to this officer and was like, what did you see that night? So I hope you guys are taking note of that.
Anything like that. And again, Mr. Barron didn't show any signs of aggression when I spoke with him, and Officer Wooten, when we consulted, didn't see any while he was talking to him separated.
And have you ever responded to an incident that was a domestic where a female was arrested?
Yes.
After ultimately making the decision, I guess first with EMS, once Ms. Mericle declined to be transported to the hospital, do EMS just leave at that point?
Well, she signs a waiver stating, for their files that she's not receiving medical attention, and then they cleared up from the scene and left.
And then after you made the determination that let me ask you, when you were making the determination whether or not to make any arrests that night, did you consult with Officer Wooten, your field training supervisor?
Yes.
Once you both made that decision not to arrest anyone that night, do you ultimately just leave the scene at some point?
We did. We did stay back just a little bit as she was telling us details that wasn't about that particular incident. She was basically telling us about a prior boyfriend and the situation there.
And did you ever respond back to that condo like the next day, for example?
I never went back to that residence.
Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
I agree. Today has been wild.
No questions? May this witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you for your testimony. You're excused.
Thank you.
Even just the arguments outside of the presence of the jury has been interesting. So we're getting there. I already have that pulled up and ready on another tab.
State calls Officer Christopher Wooten.
Yeah, we're not going to do Wooten because you guys got the...
Hello.
How do you know James David Barron?
How do I know James David Barron?
Do you know him?
I do.
How do you know him?
He was my husband for 22 years.
So you were married for 22 years. How long were you dating prior to getting married?
A few years, 2 years.
So how long do you think in total you were with Mr. Barron?
25 years.
Did you have any kids as a result of that marriage?
I did. I have two boys, Evan and Colt,
Evan and Cole. That was going to be my next question.
and
Such a
5 grandchildren.
name, Colt.
Would you be able to state the ages of your grandkids?
Oh, ages. One is 2 days old.
2 days old.
One is 3 months old.
3 months old.
I have twins that are 4,
Okay.
and Maddie is 2.
Got it. So after your divorce with David, did you two remain friends?
We did. Yeah, we were good friends.
Did you remain friends all the way up until his death?
We did. We were.
That's unusual, but nice.
And had you ever met Suzanne Mericle, the defendant in this case?
I have.
How many times would you say you've met her?
We met 3 times, 3 different times.
Were they just like random meetings? Were there occasions kind of coupled with those meetings?
Yeah, one was a birthday party, and the other was at my brother's memorial golf tournament, and then at Thanksgiving.
And how did that go? The times that you met Miss Mericle, like, was there any animosity? Did you guys get along well?
Yeah, we were fine.
And did you two ever communicate outside of the times that you had been as a family together in person?
We did. Yep.
Was it normal for her to like just reach out to you and be like, hey, how's it going? How are you? Anything like that?
She reached out to send some pictures through a text of my brother's golf tournament. She also texted and called me a few times.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's been marked as what states 199E. You could just take a look at this.
Okay.
Have you seen what states 199E is before?
Yes, I have.
Are those either phone calls or text messages between you and Miss Mericle?
They are.
And Judge, at this point, I would tender states
Her
199E
accent,
into
the
evidence.
ex-wife's.
No further objection, 199E.
Admitted.
Permission to publish, Judge?
Yes.
Did Miss Mericle call you on the night of December 28th, 2024?
She did.
Do you remember what time it was?
I have written in my notes 8:49
PM or AM?
p.m.
Kevin, that's a huge
What
ass.
was her demeanor like when she
I'd
called
be
you?
Scared.
She was her demeanor was she was inquiring. She was normal.
I was definitely
I can't
a
say
defense
anything.
attorney in
Was
my-
she like
in another life?
upset, happy, laughing, crying, something different?
Somewhere in between.
Okay. I'm going to show you states 199E. Did she also text you at any point?
She did.
What did she say to you on that phone call on December 28th of 2024?
She was inquiring about some women that she had found David texting.
Who were the women that she had found David texting?
She was asking about Laura.
This part
Who's
is so
Laura?
funny.
Laura is David's second wife,
Okay.
Laura Barron. Yeah.
Anybody else?
And then she also asked about Lilia.
Barron.
Who's Lilia?
At that point, I didn't know. I really don't know anything about Lilia.
So had you ever heard that name before the night that the defendant called you?
The first night, no, I had not.
What was she asking you specifically about Lilia? What was she asking you on the phone about that?
On December 28th, she was asking, did I know her? Who was she? Had ever heard of her? Just, questioning, did I know her? And I did not at that point.
Did she mention to you an argument between her and David at all? Like a physical argument or anything from that night?
Not on December 28th, no.
Did you end up hearing that whether or not there had been some sort of argument that night later on?
At that point, I did not know that.
What about later on? Did you ever find out if there was or wasn't some sort of argument that night?
Later, I found out that there was.
I'm going to go through. So that was December 28th that she called you. I'm going to go. Whoop. So now, do you see where my mouse is right here
I do.
for February 3rd, 2025?
Yes.
I wish I could
This
see
is
that.
from, so this is February 3rd, 2025 at 9:19 p.m. If you could read this message right here from
Gosh, am I
Suzanne.
right about
This
the
is from
setup?
Suzanne. Hey
of
there. Hope you are doing well.
room?
Have you spoken with Evan lately?
And then is the next message your response?
And I said, yes. Is everything okay?
And what does she say in response to that?
That unfortunately, I have found out several things about David that are shocking. I am trying so hard to digest this. I have included your sons. I hated to, but someone needs to intervene.
And then does she text you again
Yes.
right below that, if you wouldn't
Yes.
mind reading that?
And she said, you have all been so gracious and loving to me. I am having a hard time.
So, and then at the bottom of this page is your response, if you could read that.
Well, as a mom, I try to protect my boys from the bad, as I'm sure you would with your kids. Please go easy with them.
So now moving on to page 2 of the exhibit. We're still on February 3rd at 9:24 p.m. You text again. What do you say there?
I said, I say this in the most loving way to you.
And then what is, I think she has the next,
Yeah.
the rest of these are all her, if you could
Yes.
read those.
Yes. And then she said, I guess responding to my, when I said go easy on them, she said, I am. And then she said, can you talk?
And then right there, it looks like it says love. Does that like
That was like a heart.
a heart
emoji.
on your message? And then what does she say there?
And she said, they need your guidance.
And then what does she say below that?
And she said, that is why I'm reaching out to you.
So then I'm just going to slide down some. So then right back, you respond with this, if you wouldn't mind reading
Yeah,
that.
please just text me for now and I can talk tomorrow.
And then she responds what?
And then she said, you know David and you love your boys.
And then what do you say back?
I said, tell me what I can do to help David.
And then she says we can talk tomorrow, right?
Yes.
And then what did you say back to that?
Okay, I'll call you and you can let me know if it's convenient.
So that was at 9:27 p.m. You had established, okay, we're going to talk tomorrow.
Right.
Then less than 20 seconds later, she continues the conversation. What does she say there?
She said, he has been living a separate life with a woman.
And then what do you say in response?
And then I said, is David living at the house?
And she says, yes. Is that her?
And she said, yes.
Okay. I'm going to go on to page 3. Now we're at 9:27 on that same day. You say,
And I said, oh no, but I think that was in response to a prior text.
okay. So then she has the next 2 messages, if you could read
Yep.
those.
He has been sending her money and communicating with her constantly for years.
And then you ask her a question. What do you ask
And I
her?
said, are you trying to work things out or is it too much?
And then she says what in
She said,
response?
please keep this between us. He became so angry with me when I contacted you and Evan, last time this happened. But my gut, and I don't know that she finished that sentence.
So when she says he became so angry with me when I contacted you and Evan last time, do you believe she's referring to the December 28th incident?
Sounds good, Jess.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is that the only other time that she contacted
Yes.
both you and Evan about this? Or
That's
at least that you know of?
Yes, just for
Okay.
me. Yeah.
So then what do you say right there?
I said, I have not talked to David at all since we talked.
And then what does she say back?
I love him so much. He is everything to me. I am so hurt.
And then you say what?
And then I said, there is hope.
And then she has the next 2 messages, if you could read those.
I honestly do not know. He will not talk. I found out he is taking care of her and her daughter, thousands of dollars each month. And then I said, oh my gosh.
And then she says, I know, crazy, right?
Yep.
And then what do you say back?
And I said, my kids inherited.
And then what do you say again?
And I said, just kidding, but not really.
No,
Let me
I'm
ask you before I
not kidding.
continue reading. Once the family found out about David sending money to this Lilia, were you happy about the news?
No, not at all.
And as far as you could tell, were your kids happy with the news?
No.
So then Suzanne replies at 9:33 and says, what?
Oh, let's see. It's a grandchildren's
I've been
college
calling
fund.
him
Yes.
Jane.
And then
for
I
David.
said, why can't he break away from her? What does she have over him?
And then she responds at 9:34. What
She
did she
said, I put
say?
so much money in the house. He said he did not have it.
And then what did you say
I said,
back?
well, I guess he does.
And then what do you say? I think the next couple are you.
Yeah. Why would he do that? That's beyond me.
And
$9,000 a
then
month
she replies,
mortgage.
what?
She said, I don't know. I'm baffled and he will not talk.
So then you say, so he admitted it at 9:35. And what does she say back?
She said, I thought your boys should know.
Then what does she say at the bottom of page 4?
Then Evan saw an invoice a few years ago on his desk. He confronted David.
The cat.
And at the top of page 5, we can see that she liked your, so he admitted it. And then what do you say back?
And then I said, how old is her daughter?
And then what does she say?
Then she said, they are on Facebook. And then she is 21.
And then what was your response?
And then I said, oh gosh. And this is terrible for me to say, but I said, is the mom Euro trash?
And so we can see that below that at 9:48 on February 3rd, she sends you 2 links. I'm going to try and zoom in. Do you remember what this was?
One was a picture of Lilia.
Is this like a Facebook page?
It is her Facebook page.
So she's sending you screen
Yeah.
captures of these people's Facebooks.
$9,000 a month.
So one is Lilia. Who's the other one?
And the other is her daughter.
Daughter. Okay. So I'm going to, try and zoom in. So that's like a screen capture of the Facebook.
Right.
Okay. So then what do you say back at
And I said,
9:49?
wow, they are pretty.
And then you said, so weird.
Weird.
And then what do you say again?
And then I said, so did David say he would stop with the money and communication?
And what does Suzanne say?
Suzanne, I guess, replied to the above.
Okay,
Gorgeous.
good.
You think she is not dating others?
And then top of page 6, she replies again.
I am so shocked. What does she have?
And then what do you
And then I
say?
said, I don't know. I'll call you tomorrow.
And then does Suzanne just love that, your message?
Yeah.
And then what does she say below that?
She said, I am praying for us.
And then the next 2 messages, if you could read those.
I said, you have to know we all are. And then I said, we love you.
And then what does she say back?
I said, I know I've fallen in love with all of you. You have an amazing family like my children.
And that is the bottom of that. So at the time when you were getting those messages from Suzanne, what was going through your head like? What was going through your head when she's texting you all this information about Lillian?
I really didn't want to get involved. I wanted to stay out of it. I wanted my boys to stay out of it. I did. It started sounding a little spicy to me, and I just did not want to go much further.
I love her use of spice.
Of the times that, did she ever, after that texting conversation that you had with her, did she ever reach out to you again about Lilia at all that you remember? Like over phone or maybe even in person?
No.
Did she ever confide in you that David had been physically abusive to her?
No.
Did she ever mention any sort of like emotional abuse or controlling behavior from David?
No.
Did she ever ask you about physical abuse at all in terms of David?
No.
Don't have any other questions. Thank you.
No questions. Thank you.
No
Thank you for your testimony. You're
questions.
excused.
Bummer. Hey, J. Ross, this is the trial of Dan Mericle.
All right, folks, what we're going to do, we're going to conclude with your time early today. I apologize for that, but
What you're saying is per hour, alcohol is going to leave the blood or be oxidized at 0.015 on average per hour.
That would be correct, yes.
Thank you.
thank you for your testimony. You're excused.
It's the next one. Next
Evan
person.
Barron to the stand.
Come on up. Thank you.
Hey guys, if you are just now
could raise your
tuning
right
in,
hand.
please
Do you
make sure to
swear-
hit the thumbs up button and drop an emoji in the chat. It helps with the.
Do you swear affirm the testimony about to give you the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Thank you. You can have a seat. Please use the microphone.
Can you go ahead and state your name?
Evan Barron.
How do you know David Barron?
He's my dad.
Not like you.
Is,
can see
is his
him.
legal name David or does he have a different legal name?
No, it's, James David Barron.
James
He's my
David
dad.
Barron. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what's been marked as States 218. Do you recognize who's in States 218?
Yeah.
Who's that?
That's
You
Dad.
can't tell.
Judge, at this time I move to tender States 218 into evidence.
Admitted.
I'm just going to briefly publish, Your Honor. So this is your dad, James David Barron.
Yes, it is.
Do you know about when this photo was taken?
It was about 2 years ago. We were doing company pictures, and he grabbed the jacket on the back of his door and quickly decided to take it because he forgot his jacket that day.
And you say company pictures. Do you work with your dad? Did you work with your dad?
Did, yeah, for most of my career.
What did you do?
We work in design and construction, in management consulting, in aviation.
And so how long were you working with your dad for?
Well, it's kind of a family business, but I started as an intern when I was a kid, breaking and fixing printers. And I started professionally with the firm in Los Angeles in 2012.
Wow.
Do you have any siblings?
I do. I have a brother,
What's his name?
Taylor Colt Barron.
And are you the older brother or the younger brother?
I'm the older brother.
What's the age difference between the two of you?
2.5 years.
And do you have any kids?
I do. I just had one 3 days ago. My wife's still in the hospital.
So you had one 3 days ago. What number would that have made you with your growing family?
That would be number 4. So his name officially is Tyler, and he's our first son. And then we have Maddie, who's a 2-year-old, and then we have twins who are 4.
So all 3 girls, and then
Yeah.
a couple days ago you had your first son.
Yeah,
What about you have any nieces or nephews?
I do. I have a nephew, and he's only 3 months old.
And so that would have been Colt's son.
Colt's first son, yeah.
So you mentioned your wife. What's your wife's name?
Brittany.
Had you ever met Suzanne Mericle?
Yes.
How many times had you met her?
More than half a dozen.
I believe
When did
it.
you first find out that your dad was dating Suzanne?
It was in the summer of 2024. I found out that they had gotten back together.
So when you say gotten back together, did you know that they had possibly dated prior to that summer of 2024?
Yeah, Dad told me they started dating back in, I guess, 2018, 2019, and then COVID happened, and then they decided to not continue the relationship and then got back together.
I wonder if he
When they
inherited
had
the
dated
company.
prior to COVID, had you met her at that point?
No,
So when would, if you can remember, would have been about the first time that you did officially meet her?
it was sometime in the summer. We went on a family vacation in like the beginning of August of 2024.
Okay.
We went down to the beach. My uncle was there, Colt was there, his wife, our kids, Brittany and I. We all stayed in the same house.
So was it everyone from your side of the family beach?
Yeah.
Big house.
And then Suzanne as well?
Correct.
How'd that beach vacation go?
It was good. It was fine. We did what we normally do, spend hours on the beach and try to keep kids away from everything. And yeah, it was good.
What was your first impression of Suzanne when you met her dating your dad?
I thought she was, sorry, this is the tough part to say. I thought she was fine. I was looking forward to her and her relationship with dad.
What were you looking for? Why did her relationship with your dad make you happy?
Because she was, from the same area. She liked football. She enjoyed, all aspects of being with family. She had kids. I think that I was most excited because dad was always looking for somebody. And I think that having someone close by and being, local was something that was good for him.
Did you ever see them fight?
No.
Besides that beach vacation, did Suzanne ever come to any other family events that you had?
Yeah, she did. So our twins' third birthday party, it was in Roswell, so just north of us from Sandy Springs. And she was there. The whole family was there. My mom was there. Sister-in-law, all the kids.
And to be clear, is your mom Beth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When was that birthday party? Do you remember what month? I know it's your twin's birthday, so what month?
Yeah, so their birthday's on September 15th, so it was a couple days either before or after, the weekend before or after.
Would that have been September of 2024 that your twins turned 3?
Yes.
Okay. Who is Meg?
It's my sister-in-law.
Was Meg also at that birthday party?
Yeah.
So that was September of 2024. How about October of 2024, that very next month? Did you go trick-or-treating as a family?
Yeah.
Did your dad end up going to that?
No.
Did you ever know why he didn't go trick-or-treating?
No.
Was Meg there?
Yeah. The kids,
Did you ever?
I think she was trying to pull a string.
From the defendant on December 28th of 2024?
Yes.
Tell me about that night. What do you remember about that night?
Yeah, so it was close to New Year's. Brittany and I were in bed. We got a phone call around 10, somewhere between 10 and 11. And she calls us and she starts yelling and she starts saying stuff on the phone. We're like, what's going on? Because clearly it's late at night. And I don't usually get phone calls like that. So we pick up and she says, Evan and Brittany, and she's on speakerphone and my wife and I are in bed talking and we're listening to her and she's frantic. And
bye, Josh.
She says,
have a great
David and I got
weekend.
into an argument and you could hear her, you could hear my dad in the background.
Thanks for dropping by.
And she was visibly upset or audibly upset. And she says, I pulled a gun on your dad. And Brittany and I at that moment were like, okay, this is way out of the ordinary. What is going on? And she said, he got it away from me. And at that time, you can hear him in the background. He's knocking on the door, banging on the door, saying, where are my keys? Where are my keys? Because it's my dad's nature to kind of just leave the situation. And so we're like, okay, there's no gun involved apparently at the moment. So what is the issue? And she says, we got into an argument. And I'm assuming it's about Lilia, something that Colt or I weren't really happy about, this Lilia person. And first of all, we were really worried, given there was a gun in the situation, about her safety and dad's safety. And she kept the door locked and then the yelling stopped because Brittany and I assumed that he had found his keys and left. So we finished the rest of the conversation. It was about, what is this argument? And we wanted to make sure that he was okay. So knowing that he would left, got in his car, I texted him. I was like, Dad, where are you? Are you okay? Are you safe? And in dad fashion, didn't get a very lengthy response, but he did at least say, I'm in a hotel or at the hotel. And from that moment, I was like, okay, at least the situation is, somewhat resolved.
What did she tell you that night on the phone what the argument was about that they were having?
Yeah, it was about Lilia.
Just briefly, because you mentioned this, you mentioned in dad fashion.
No.
Was your dad a man of many words when it came to like texting, things like that?
No. Very brief, very short. He didn't really like to talk a lot about personal things, didn't really like to talk about the relationship between he and Suzanne. I know that he always wanted to keep that more of a private thing for them to resolve. And he didn't really pull Colt and I into those conversations at all.
Did you know about Lilia before the night of December 28th when the defendant called you?
I did, yeah.
When did you find out about her?
I found out with more details that summer, actually right before the family beach vacation.
Oh, man.
How did you find out about her?
My uncle, gave me some indication that he had seen some paperwork from my dad, and then I had seen some paperwork on his desk at work. We do work in the same office or multiple offices, and there were like money orders and wire transfers, and I wasn't happy.
Was this, to your knowledge, did the defendant know about Lilia prior to December 28th of 2024?
I don't think so.
And so when she called you and said that they were arguing about this woman, is that when you came to realize that she now knew about her?
Yes, because subsequent conversations ended up focusing solely around that.
Did she, after the night of December 28th, did she ever call you again to discuss this Lilia person?
She did, yeah.
How many times would you say that she called you after that night to talk about Lilia?
Maybe half a dozen.
Boy.
What about texting? Did she ever text you about Lilia?
She did. She did, yeah. It was, like I said, not something that I was super excited about, this Lilia person who didn't even live in this country.
I'm going to show you what's remarked of States 199I.
But she lived in New Jersey.
Take a look. Do you recognize States 199I?
And he was helping with a green card. Like, I'm dying to know more about
Have you
that
seen,
story. How did they meet?
This before?
No.
Online?
Have you seen a picture of this before with the text messages?
Yes, pictures, yeah, text messages for sure.
Is that text messages between you and the defendant?
It is, yeah.
Do you remember these text messages?
Yeah. Yes.
Judge, at this time I move to admit States 199I into evidence.
No objection. Can you put that top on that eye? So it's
I did.
Oh, you did?
I did, yeah.
Thank you.
You admitted?
Permission to publish, Your Honor?
Yes.
So we're looking at States 199I. I'm going to scroll down. So right here, there's an outgoing call. We can see it 12/28 on 12/28/2024 at 9:48 p.m. To Evan. Is this the night that you were just talking about, the phone call you got?
Yes.
And then there's an incoming call on that same night from you to the defendant. Do you remember calling her back that night at 10 o'clock?
Yes.
Was that just to discuss further the conversation?
A missed call, and I called her back.
Okay. So now moving on, you can see on February 1st of 2025, you got a text from Suzanne. If you don't mind, if you could read the text that you got from Suzanne.
Yeah.
And you have a screen right there if that makes it easier for you to read.
Hey there, your dad came to SSI St. Simon's Island to talk to me about working this out. I did not tell him I reached out to you. He told me that he was going to stop sending her money and communicating with her. He told me that you saw something on his desk and asked him to stop. He told me the story between them. I am praying for us. I do love him so much. I know he's struggling. He told me he was helping you with the tree, the tree house. Please love him and support him. I've fallen in love with all of you.
And then, sorry. She texted again. Can you read this okay?
Yeah.
Okay. She texted again at 12:44 a.m. on the 2nd. So that was the one you just read was at 7:49 on the 1st at p.m. And now we're looking at the following morning, 12:44 a.m. on February 2nd. If you could read that text you got from her.
Sure. I'm not going to text you anymore, but your dad needs support. He is sending that woman so much money and paying for an apartment. I cannot see him anymore. And
then I can see that you reply. There's a reply from you at 7:30. Can you respond to that? Or can you read that? I'm sorry.
Yep. Good morning. I'm going to talk to him today. Colt and I are sitting down with him to have a much needed discussion.
Do you remember that discussion you had with your dad?
Yeah, vividly, because like I said, I wasn't a fan of this Lilia person or what he was doing. Colt and I were building a treehouse for my twins. It holds obviously a special place in my heart, but we had finished installing the post piers and the concrete that afternoon because I needed his help. So Colt and I intentionally wanted to sit down with him on the porch afterwards and have a conversation about Lilia and stopping this, because we considered it more of like a predatory thing, because she wasn't living in the United States at all. We're like, Dad, this is someone who's taking advantage of you. It needs to stop. You're clearly having or trying to have a relationship with someone. And that's the part that
I would have gone to the bank with my mom and been like,
below this at 8:08 a.m. on the 2nd, she sends you a text, if you could read that.
Yeah, he got very angry at me last night because I kept asking him questions about the relationship. Of course, he lied, but she had told me many things. So then I confronted him having an affair with her. He became very, very angry and left last night after we returned from dinner. I can tell you many other things if you want to call me. I love your dad very much. There's too much betrayal, lies, and I cannot trust him. He kept turning on me. I've been faithful and loyal, and I was madly in love with him. If you want to, before he arrives, just let me know. I don't want him to think we've all turned against him, but I'm glad you and Colt are going to discuss with him. He is definitely not the man I thought he was. I feel like I've lost my best friend.
On to page 2. She, right there at the top of page 2, 809, it says like. Does that mean she liked your message?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you reply at 8:13. What do you say?
I'm sorry for all of this.
So she replies at 8:27. If you could read her response.
Wanted to show you who your dad is sending money to. Lilia is the mother and Emily is the daughter on FB, Facebook. They appear to be both financially stable. And if you look at Lilia, she has so many men following her and sending her money. It appears to be a scam con. You may want to intervene. Your dad is being taken advantage of. I know he's smarter than this. This is why my heart is broken and so disappointed. Why is he sending her so much money? Question mark. He's paying for an apartment at Harbor Point, New Jersey for Emily. She apparently has plenty of money. They both do.
And then you can see that she sent
This is what's weird is that these seem to be two totally living, normal, legitimate humans. But they lived in Moldova and wanted to come to America. And he was going to help them with getting a green card, but he was paying $3,500 a month for their apartment. And these girls, or at least the daughter it was a mother and daughter. The daughter had her own Instagram influencer thing. And it seemed like they were able to make money without his help. But I'm sure it was a very nice, healthy income having his assistance. Who is Lacey talking to? What did I say?
It's obviously really hard to tell. Do you remember what those images were?
I'm assuming it's a money order or.
So she had, sorry, I zoomed out too much. She had said,
You're welcome.
On FB. Do you remember if she ever sent you screen captures of their Facebook profiles?
I don't know if she specifically sent me a Facebook profile picture, but I mean,
Okay.
Brittany and I looked her up. We know what she looks like. We know
Okay.
the daughter.
Then below that on page, below that at 8:31. So that text that you just read was sent at 8:27. So a couple minutes later, she sends you this text, if you could read that.
This is the apartment that he has rented for the daughter, Emily, that you can see on Facebook is doing extremely well. He has the lease until 2026. He told me that he fell in love with her, the mother, Lilia, and thought they were going to be married. And that's why he's been sending her money. And that was new information to me.
And so is she sending you, at this point, it looks like she's looking up apartment information for the daughter, Emily. and
I would
sending
be
it to
doing
you.
the same
Yeah.
thing, guys.
Then
I
she
would be
texts you
doing the
again
same
at
thing.
8:34, so 3 minutes later, and says what?
He keeps texting me, question mark.
And then
Not
she
messaging her.
sends you some other stuff. Again, obviously, it's hard for us to see those screen captures, but that's at 8:48, so 4 minutes later. And then going on to page 4, you responded at 9:01. What did you say?
So, wow, I had no idea.
And then you sent a couple more messages, the next two, if you could read the next two.
Colt and I had a conversation today about multiple things. I'm going to address this lease in New Jersey ASAP now that I know.
And then she replies at 9:04, right here, and says what?
What did you discuss with your dad?
None of
And
your
then again at
business.
9:05.
Have you looked
Says-
up? Yeah. Have you looked up these women on Facebook? Your dad keeps texting me. I'm not responding. I don't want him to know anything about me. Please don't let him know that we are corresponding.
And then you replied at 9:06 and 9:07. What were your next two replies?
I have not told him that you or I have chatted. This nonsense with this lady needs to stop. We talked directly about this today. It's almost like he's being scammed and preyed on.
And then below that is also your response.
We discussed his health, his relationship, his drinking, and this money wiring crap.
And then she replies at 9:08. What does she say to you?
What did he say about this relationship with me? I did not tell him that we have discussed it either. He told me that he was going to stop it. He told me he loved me and wanted to marry me, but Evan, I do not believe him. He's so involved with this woman.
And then
More
here,
people watch
the next
on
two
the
replies at
vertical.
9:12. If you could read those next two text messages.
He does care for you, but he wouldn't go into more details and change the subject like he does with personal things.
And then the next one.
What is he texting you about? Question mark. Is he being apologetic?
So now moving on to page 5, she sends you something else, a screen capture at 9:13, but then below that kind of follows up with it at 9:20. What does she say below that?
This is, I have not responded to him at all.
And then 9:34, she sends you another text. What does she say there?
No, he is never apologetic. I don't know what this woman has over him, but it's obvious. She has so many people following her and sending her money. Your dad should have never bought a home with me. What is wrong with him? I gave him my heart and my soul.
And then 1 minute later, she sends another text, if you could read that.
Please tell him to leave me alone. He knows my past. He knows how I've been hurt and he continues to lie to me. What kind of person does that? I told him to get out of the house. I will be there on Thursday. I don't want to see him.
And then 20 seconds later, she sends another text.
Do not want to see him.
And then 2 minutes later, she sends another text.
I'm having to move back to my condo where my ex-boyfriend lives. He is renting. I own it because I can't afford to pay the mortgage house, the mortgage on my condo, and the rent to stay at this other place. He never offered me a dime, but he sent this woman and her daughter $6,000 and $7,000 a month. I've never asked him for a dime. He threw my wallet out and I lost all my credit cards, almost $1,000 worth of cash. I paid for myself to go to Cape San Blast, but he pays for this woman to fly all over the place, and he was late taking me back, and I had to pay $1,000 for another flight. He never paid me a dime. I wish I'd never met him.
Then after that text, she sends you another text 1 minute later. The top part is redacted. If you could just read starting at but.
But he's sending this woman so much money. I told him he should be putting this money in his grandchildren's college.
And then on the top of page 6, so that was at 9:38. She sends you a text 2 minutes later. And what does she say there?
She can barely speak English. I called her. She told me that she was married to your dad and for me to stop harassing her.
And then 2 minutes later again, text you. What does she say?
I am so sorry. Your dad needs support, love, and direction. I wish I would have never fallen in love with him. All of you are wonderful.
And then that was at 9:43 p.m. on the 2nd. So then you never reply to any of those. And then on February 3rd, she texts you again at 12 a.m. And what does she say?
He cares for me, question mark. He told me yesterday that he wanted to marry me in Hawaii, but he only cares for me.
Then again at 7:54, what does she say?
Good morning. I'm sorry for the numerous texts. However, your dad keeps texting me and calling me, and he had me so upset. I hope you have a good day.
And then at 8:34, she texts you again. And what does she say?
You're good. Your dad and I spoke last night in texting this AM. I'm sorry you and Colt are having to deal with this. I hope with love, understanding, and support, he can make better decisions. He did not drink all Friday until late Saturday evening. I kept everything put away. At dinner he ordered. I do love him so very much.
So apparently, he
And
has
then
a drinking
again,
problem.
she texts you at 8:30. So you don't reply. That's at 8:30 in the morning. Then at 8:30 p.m. on the 6th, she texts you again. What does she say?
Hey there. Thank you for everything. Your dad is here this weekend. We are discussing so much.
And then on the 7th at 10:30, you finally reply and you like her message. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then you text at 10:35. And what do you say?
Hoping for positive change.
And then what does she reply?
Me too. Thank you.
And then you text her on the 8th at 8 a.m. What do you say?
Morning. Pretty and I did look at the terms, and yes, you can get out of it. Some hefty fees, but it can be done. I don't know if he has canceled yet. Haven't spoken to him a bunch this week.
And then on the 10th, she sends you a pretty long text message at 8:28 a.m. If you could read that.
Sure. Good morning. Your dad and I had a good weekend, and we have discussed the lease rental and also sending Lilia money each month. Talking to him is literally like pulling teeth. I suggested firmly that he stop paying, and she will either have to pay or leave the premises. They should be able to pay the rent. The mother has other men paying for both her and her daughter's lifestyle. The daughter is receiving money from all her music videos, modeling jobs, and her Instagram account, as well as her mother. I'm sure you and Brittany have viewed their social media. They both are living extravagant lives. Your dad told me he has talked to Lilia several times regarding stopping payments to her and the rent. He tells me she does not understand and is confused. I told him she has been manipulating him. I'm afraid he does not have the heart to remove the daughter from the apartment. He feels something. They are scamming him. She texted me to go away. I'm ruining everything. She is smarter than your dad wants to believe. You may have to handle this for him. I wish it would end and go away for all of us.
He's
Sorry you
not
guys
an
are having to deal with this.
80-year-old
I asked him to sit down and talk to all of you and get the truth out so we can get over this. Thank you.
Alzheimer's
And then you reply to that
man.
message later that evening at 11 p.m. What do you say?
Yeah, I'm glad you sent this, and I'm sorry this has come up in your relationship. Colt and I are sitting with him again this weekend to discuss next steps on what he has corrected to date. And yes, if Brittany and I have to step in, then we will.
And then she replies to your text about 9 minutes later. What does she say?
I did not know really what to do. Your dad and I had some good conversations this weekend. I'm coming to the lake on Thursday. We decided we were going to try to work on our relationship. I told him only if she and her daughter are completely out of the picture. He told me he was going to Los Angeles tomorrow. Thank you. I sent a gift with him for all the girls.
And then she at 11:16 hearted your first message and then texts you again at 4:09 p.m. on the 16th, February 16th. What does she say?
Hey there, is your dad still there? Please have him call me.
This is like a soap
So
opera.
And I'm assuming that's on the weekend that Colt and I had another sit-down conversation with him at the house.
and that was on
At our
February
house.
16th.
I think so, yeah.
So she seems to be pretty, did you feel like she's pretty open with talking to you about her frustrations with your dad and this Lilia person?
Yeah, I would say she confided in me.
And did she ever mention your dad ever physically abusing her?
No,
Did she ever mention anything to you about your dad not letting her eat or telling her what to dress or anything like that?
no,
Did she ever complain to you about anything other than this Lilia person?
no.
Oh,
That
it's
was
Kristen.
99% of the conversation most of the time.
Oh, yay. It's Kristen.
Did you end up talking to your dad on March 7th of 2025?
Yeah,
Was
Yeah,
that
we-
the last time you spoke with your dad?
yeah.
How did he sound to you when you talked to him?
It was fine. I was sitting upstairs in our office in the house, which will now be a nursery. And Brittany and I had just bought some property in North Georgia. We were really excited, and I was doing this project that I was excited to tell him about. And we had a good conversation. I think they had just left dinner. They had gone to Olive Garden, and he was going to come over and help us with the playhouse. And I think he was going to have dinner or lunch with Colt and Allie, my sister-in-law and my brother, the next day. And we ended the phone call, and I got the chance to say that I love him, and that's a good thing for me. But yeah, he was fine.
How did you find out that your father had been killed?
So the next day, I was working on the playhouse. It was a Saturday, and Colt calls me like once or twice in a row. And in the family, twice is usually an emergency.
That's how
And
it
so
is
he
with
calls me. It was
Frank.
the morning of, and then he tells me that Dad's that he's died, and that he had found out from the investigator.
Without telling me what Colt said to you, did you find out from your brother?
Yeah.
At some point after you found out, did you go to the lake house to get your dad's car?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We had to make some phone calls, to the family, my uncle and other people. And we wanted to get started on, making preparations for the funeral and everything else.
Were you able to get your dad's car? Was it part of the crime scene?
No, the investigator had told us at that point that there was no more crime scene, or like the caution tape, whatever, is lifted, and that we could go and get his things if we wanted to get some things.
So your dad had his keys in his pocket at the hospital. Did you have a spare set of keys that you were able to use to drive your dad's car away?
I didn't, but when we went to go to the house, we found them pretty easily. They were, just to the left of the kitchen and around that little pantry area coming off the garage door.
Is that a spare set of keys to your dad's car?
Yeah. Dad, I think I would like to say copied me, because we bought a Telluride, and then the year later he bought a Telluride, and I knew that the manufacturer always gives you a second set of keys. So
And that second set of keys was found at the lake house?
yes,
Where exactly in the lake house did you find the second set of keys to your dad's car?
they were like, so if you come into the garage door, to the left is like a pantry area, and then to the right's the kitchen. So to the left is like a coffee maker and the junk drawer, and we found it over there.
So in like the main level of the home near the
Yeah.
kitchen area?
Yeah.
Thank you, Evan. I don't have any other questions.
There are two set of keys going on. One was on his person, and one was in a junk drawer, is what he just said. Hey, everyone jumping in here. Please make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Double check that you are subscribed. It's free. And drop a line in the comment section. It really helps the algorithm. Thanks. Yeah, maybe. I'm talking to people on the other stream. I'm addressing everyone. I have like a master key of what you guys are saying. Kristen thinks it would be weird if his son knew that, but the lady didn't. Well, he went and looked for the keys, and they found them in the junk drawer.
It's true to say that your dad sort of always wanted to have a house on the lake. Is that
He
right?
should have started off by saying, "I'm sorry for your loss."
In other words, it was a dream of his or a goal of his or something he wanted to be able to do in his lifetime was have a lake house.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about that phone call on December the 28th, okay?
Okay.
Before that call, Miss Mericle had come on family vacation with you guys at the beach, right?
Yep.
And like you do whenever a parent or somebody else has a new partner, you're sort of assessing, you know, who is this person? Do we like her? All that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of an audition, for lack of a better term, right? You
Thank
disagree
God
with
he
that?
didn't have any sisters.
And the whole family's there. You're at the beach. You got kids. You got extended family, and you guys across the board concluded this is good.
Yeah.
I think the word that you've used several times, this person's normal. That's
Yeah.
one of the words you used, right? And everybody, it wasn't just you. I mean, everybody agreed.
Yep.
Top to bottom.
Yes.
And one of the things you really liked and everybody liked about Miss Mericle was she had a sense of family being a very important part of her life, right?
Yes.
And that's, you know, that's consistent with your values.
Yeah.
And when you're, you know, when people are pairing up, you don't want to have some person who's not as interested in family as the other person there.
Agreed.
And what you knew was this is a woman who has kids herself, right?
Yeah, we hadn't met them yet, but yeah.
You hadn't met them, but you knew she was involved in their lives, right?
Yes.
Okay. Hair.
And
Sorry.
at this point, you've got 0 red flags, another way to put it.
Yeah.
And you get a phone call on December the 28th in the evening hours, right?
Mhm.
It is something that is answered on a speakerphone.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're hearing yelling.
Mhm.
You are hearing banging on a door.
Yes. Yeah. It
And
was
I
in the
think-
bathroom. She said she was in the bathroom.
That's right. She's in the bathroom. There's door banging. Right?
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
he has a
you hear my
visual
dad in the
aid.
background saying, "Where are my keys? I know you took my keys," because he was trying to find his keys to leave.
And you said she kept the door locked.
Yes.
My allergies are out of control. I'm sorry, everyone. It was like 50 degrees yesterday, and now it's 70. No, it was like 40
And
yesterday.
she's conveying to you that she is concerned, obviously.
Mhm.
Right? Correct?
Yes.
And she tells you, she said she just wanted to get away. She just wanted to leave the situation. Right?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'll make sure you see it.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Can you still see that over here? When you're hearing this on the speakerphone, you say to her, "What is that sound in the background?"
Mhm.
Right?
Yes.
And she says, "That's your dad." Correct?
Yes.
And he's yelling.
Yes.
Judge, permission to move so I can see what's being read.
And you hear a statement from her about having gotten a gun.
Correct.
Did she tell you what gun it was?
No, not that I recall.
Did she say, I got my gun or I got his gun?
Not that I remember.
You know the word gun was used.
Yes, and that was what alarmed Brittany and I.
Yes. This was, to say the least, a very alarming phone call. Yes?
Yes, for Brittany and I.
And after this, after the call is over, you make a determination that you're going to have a discussion with your father.
About?
Exactly. About what?
Colt and I knew that we needed to have a conversation with Dad about Lilia before that.
After this, though, you go to him about his behavior. True?
Related to Lilia.
You go to him about his behavior and also his drinking.
Yeah, it was mostly for the health of him because he was getting older, and we wanted to make sure that he was around for a long time to be with the grandkids.
I forgot to
You
do
wanted
a
him
poll.
to be around. You didn't want him to
Hey guys, hit the thumbs up,
keep
please.
making mistakes.
No, not mistakes. I needed him around in my life.
Sure. But you went to him, someone who didn't like to talk about his personal life.
Yeah.
You and your brother, right?
Yeah, we had to sit down in February.
And this is not an easy thing for you to do with your father.
No, it was
This
something we wanted to like have an intervention and say, Dad,
exactly.
let's stop this Lilia thing.
Exactly. After learning that a gun purportedly by her has been pulled on him,
Yeah.
you have an intervention with your father. True?
Yeah, a couple weeks later.
I want to ask you specifically about, do you still have that exhibit up there with the text?
No.
You don't? Okay. Can I hand him, do you have the physical?
It's right, it's up here.
If you would look at the last page on 199I.
Hi, Alejandro.
Judge, can I get the Elmo again?
Oh, thank you. And to you as well.
After all the text going back and forth, the calls and stuff that we talked about before, there's a bit of a break in the action, if you will, between February the 10th and February the 16th, right? There's a 6-day window, right?
Yeah.
And then you get 2 messages on the 16th,
Yes.
Right.
I'm assuming that's Saturday. I believe
Right.
It's Saturday.
February the 16th.
Yeah.
Have we increased our likes? Have you guys subscribed?
And after this day, February 16th, 2025, the messaging, the communication, the calls ends.
From her to me?
Yes.
Yes.
In other words, this is the end of her discussing her displeasure about this relationship and talking about trying to salvage the relationship with your father and involving you. Right?
Yes. That's the tough part is we thought that conversation that Colt and I had would help the situation.
Those are my questions. Thank you.
That's all your questions. It still bothers me.
Thank you for your
didn't
testimony.
say.
You can, your excuse can remain in the gallery. Thank you.
I'm sorry about your dad.
Do I put this here?
Being empathetic doesn't
Thank you.
mean that.
Judge, we have our next witness. It's going to be pretty lengthy if you want. Judge Arnold wants to go ahead and go for a little bit. State calls investigator Matthew Mefford.
Is there sawdust on the floor? If anything, there's
Swear affirm the testimony about to give you the
pretzel
truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, self you got.
dust
I swear.
Thank you so much. Please use the microphone.
shells.
Would you go ahead and state your name?
Investigator Matthew Mefford.
And how are you employed?
I'm with Hall County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you been in law enforcement in total?
I began in Jackson County in 2013.
So 2013 is when you first get into law enforcement in Jackson County.
Yes.
What did you do in Jackson County?
I began as a jailer and then went to uniform patrol, basically patrol deputy.
And then how long were you at Jackson County for?
I left early 21
And where did you go early 21?
to Forsyth County Sheriff's Office.
And what did you do at Forsyth?
I was on patrol a very, very short time there before I went to work in their major crimes unit investigations.
And how long were you in investigations in Forsyth?
For the remainder until I came to Hall County in, I believe it's September of 23.
And when you came to Hall County in September of 23, did you come in and investigate as an investigator?
Yes, directly to investigations.
And have you been in investigations in Hall County since September of 2023?
Yes.
Have you ever been on SWAT team as well?
Yes. I served on the SWAT team for Forsyth County.
Forsyth County? How long were you on SWAT team in Forsyth?
For the majority of it, I guess, the time there, a little
Okay.
over a year.
So basically since early 2021 to when
Probably
you left in
later.
2023?
Later in that time frame when they had tryouts.
Okay. What about firearms training? Aside from like the required firearms training just to be a law enforcement officer, are you a certified or firearms?
Yes, I'm a certified certified firearms instructor with the Peace Officer Training Standard, Peace Officer Standards Training Council to the state of Georgia.
Were you the lead investigator on the case against Suzanne Mericle?
Yes,
How did you get assigned to this case?
I was the on-call investigator that night.
This
So you
court
were on
court
call
case
the,
is
I guess-
happening now.
Late night, early morning of March 7th to March 8th of 2025.
Yes, through that date range.
So when you got the call as an investigator, like what kind of information do you get for a call like this?
Sergeant Ingalls, I spoke with him on the phone. He just said that I believe the initial call was they had a gunshot, subject was transported to the hospital, and there were multiple guns.
So once you get that call,
could
do you remember
never yell
about
at
what
you.
time it was that you got that call?
I believe I spoke with him around 1:27 a.m.
On the 8th.
That is correct, yes.
And so what was the first thing you did once you got that call?
Got out of bed and got ready.
What'd you do once you got out of bed?
So yes, when I left in order of events, I knew he was transported to the hospital. So I went directly to Northeast Georgia Medical Center in Gainesville.
And did you go alone? Did anybody go with you to the hospital?
I went there by myself while going to the house. I did call other investigators and supervision and crime scene when I was notified to get them ready.
So why was it that you went to the hospital as the very first thing you did?
He was transported there, critical conditions. There's things called dying declarations, get evidence from them, see if EMS had any statements, stuff like that.
And when you arrived at Northeast Georgia Medical Center, was Mr. Barron alive or had he already been pronounced deceased?
They were in the process. He was in the trauma center in the emergency room. And when I walked there, the medical staff had ceased attempts and declared him deceased.
Once you left the hospital, or I guess at some point, did you leave the hospital that early morning?
Yes.
Where did you go after that?
That's when I went to 4238 Bay Ridge Drive.
And what time, do you know about what time it was that you ended up getting to Bay Ridge Drive?
I left the hospital 2:15-ish. I didn't record. It's probably 2:45-ish.
Okay.
That's guesstimation, complete guesstimation when I would have been
What
there.
are
It's
you
on body
talking
camera.
about, Kristen?
Was defendant on scene when you arrived?
Yes, she was sitting on the front landing, concrete pad porch.
And we saw you on body cam arrive on scene and walk into the house when you first get there. What did you do when you went inside the residence?
Made an initial assessment of the residence, the incest evidence, so I could prepare a search warrant.
What was the search warrant for?
Process the scene, which is the residence, and collect evidence related to the crime at hand
Where did you prepare that search warrant?
in my car.
So you walk
Ooh.
around, you walk in the scene, and then
Times
you go
have
in your car
changed.
and type up the search warrant. Is that how that worked?
Yes.
Once you had that search warrant typed up and prepared, what did you do after that?
We had it printed out, and I gave it to another investigator to go meet with a magistrate judge to have it signed, and that's when I spoke with Ms.
The
Mericle.
ice cream restaurant
And-
friendlies?
What was your reasoning about wanting to speak with
Kristen?
Ms. Mericle that night?
To understand what happened.
Had you had any idea what happened at that point when you arrived on scene?
No, she was making utterances, but no, I did not have a clue.
And we saw on the body cam that you preferred to speak with her, not at the house, but back at the law enforcement center. Why is that?
It's preferred. It's, like I said, the lighting, recorded, water, stuff like that. It's a little more comfortable, I would say, than sitting in a car, which I did give that option. It's just not at the residence while the search warrant's been processed or the crime scene's been processed. Too many distractions.
And at that point, had Sergeant Durham arrived on scene to start processing the home?
Yes, he was on scene by the time the search was signed. I was just waiting, or they were waiting on it to be signed by the magistrate judge before they began.
So Sergeant Durham was basically on scene, on standby, waiting for the search warrant to be signed. Once it was signed, that's when he would start the search of the residence.
Yes,
And that was all going on while you're on scene as well, speaking with the defendant?
some type of parallel.
Okay.
Not exact, but yes, there was some type of parallel there.
So at that point, was the defendant under arrest?
No,
Did you have any reason to believe you needed to arrest her at that point?
no, all I knew was somebody was dead and I needed to find out what happened.
Did you threaten or coerce her at all to get her to go back to the law enforcement center to speak with you?
No,
Did she appear to be intoxicated or under the influence when you were speaking with her?
she was very emotional, but no, I did not appear to be intoxicated.
Did you request that she be handcuffed or anything like that to transport her to the law enforcement center?
No, I specifically instructed them not to handcuff her.
And once you get back to the law enforcement center, where do these interviews take place?
We have 2 interview rooms at the sheriff's office headquarters of the law enforcement center. There's a basement, the first floor and second floor, but the grand scheme, they would be on the first floor, which coming from the back of the building would be the second.
And do you conduct these interviews alone, or do you typically have somebody with you when you do the interview?
I always have a second person with me.
Did you have a second person with you in this case?
Yes, I did.
Who was that?
Then investigator Danielle Cuneo, now sergeant.
At any point when you were interacting with the defendant, basically from the time you met her to the time that you weren't with her anymore, did she ever indicate to you that she had any trouble hearing you?
She did indicate in the beginning of the interview there were hearing issues. I confirmed that she could hear and understand me, and she said yes.
Could you see that if she had a hearing aid in?
I believe so. I didn't take a picture of that one, but she did motion to her ear, and we did talk about it.
Y'all, I said it yesterday. I didn't even know about this. She had a hearing aid in. And when you already need ear protection when you shoot a gun, let alone when you have a hearing aid, that can really mess up like its ability to work well. So I'm sure what is it called? Tinnitus was pretty bad. Maybe that's why she wasn't answering questions as coherently. I don't know. She seemed pretty crazy. I'm just saying that's a weird coincidence.
So did she ever at any point ask you to repeat something because she couldn't hear, or did you ever feel like she wasn't hearing the questions that you were asking her?
No, I felt like she could understand me.
When you interview anybody at the law enforcement center, do you ever have your firearm on your person when you're interviewing them?
No, we always take our firearms off and secure them.
About what time did that interview take place?
So I was talking to her on the front landing about 3:35, and I believe, according to my notes, it was about 4:27, approximately 4:27 is the time I wrote down that the interview began.
And was that interview audio and video recorded?
Yes.
And have you had a chance to watch that interview prior to today?
In the
Yes.
morning?
Had that interview been changed or altered in any way?
No.
Judge, at this time, I would move to tender the interview with defendant investigator Mefford as states 219.
States 219.
Yes.
No further objection to states 219.
Judge, it is a very lengthy interview.
I'm so excited for Josh to come on next week
Please.
and talk about his experience going to this courthouse and seeing this yesterday.
Judge, I'm going to fast forward the interview until people enter the room, and I will indicate the time once I get there.
I'll get you out of there. Thank you very much.
So I'm going to be hitting play at 26 minutes and 27 seconds.
My name's Matt. You like to be called Suzanne? Yeah. Okay, and my friend Danielle here, she's coming in with me. And here's some tissues. In case you need some tissues. Would you like a water?
I have some.
You have some water? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming up here and talking to me. Like I said, it's much better. I can stay right. It's warm. And I'll get you out of there and we can calm down and figure out what happened instead of watching everybody run around. So I just want to get to know a little bit about you first. Your name is Suzanne.
You know, it's okay.
I'm waiting on a call back I talked to a nurse on the ER and she's going, they were getting with a doctor back there in trauma. They were doing surgery or something. So I'm waiting on
Is he
that.
alive, John?
If I'm waiting on that phone call, honestly, I cannot. So we will know.
There was so much blood. I've never.
Just wondering, have you guys been following this Frankie
No, it's very, I'm not
Taylor
saying-
Frankie Paul drama?
Everything's just been happening.
Yes.
Just one thing after another. I just ask me. I got, I'm deaf, and so I can't hear. So
Which ear do you hear better out of one ear than the other?
I have a hearing aid, so that's
Is your hearing aid in?
Yeah, I got it in now.
Okay. Well, honestly, right now, I know your name's Suzanne. I never asked your last name.
Miracle. Suzanne Mericle.
I love that.
Is that Suzanne?
SUZANNE, and then my last name is MERICLE.
Okay. All right. And what's your birthday, Suzanne?
05/15/1963. I'm 61.
And what's that telephone number for you?
912-230-4039.
Oh, 912. Where are you from?
I'm from St. Simon's Island.
Are you actually from St. Simon's Island?
Yes,
And what
Mitchell,
brings you
the
to this area?
Bachelorette.
We bought that house in October together.
Mm-hmm. So just so I know, I haven't asked you this either. Who is we?
That's David.
David?
His name's David Barron.
Barron?
And
What's his first name?
David.
David's his first
That's
name?
a
And
mess.
his last name is Barron, BARRON.
Okay.
And he's my boyfriend. We're not married. We just bought a house together.
Yes.
They
We
are,
bought it in October.
what was the wording? Putting it like on the back burner. I think they're just waiting for the
Okay. Where do you
drama
from?
to like,
He's from Atlanta.
Okay.
And so
hello, Harriet, how are
he lives
you?
here in Atlanta. And I live on St. Simon's. And we met each other like in 2019. Like we dated. And then it just didn't work out. I had a daughter that was graduating. And I just wanted to, I felt like I need to spend time with her, And so we kind of talked a little bit in the years between, and then we got back together last year, 2024, about April.
Okay.
And we started dating.
Yes. So you moved up here in October, that house?
We decided, telling me he was going to marry me, and then he wanted us to get a house, and so we found that house, and we bought it in October. And
Okay.
then he lives there full time, and I just come like on Thursdays, and I go back Sundays, or I get up at 3 early Monday morning and drive back 5.5 hours.
Oh, so you still have a residence in St. Simon's?
I'm a dentist there. So I have a dental practice there.
You mean actual, okay, that's interesting, yes.
Mhm.
Okay, and you said you have a daughter that's graduating.
No, this was in 2019.
Previously.
So I have 3 children. and
Okay.
They're already out of college and they have jobs.
Yes. Okay, and then, do they still live down in St. Simon's also? Where do they live?
My oldest one lives in Atlanta.
Mhm.
And then my middle one lives in New York. And my younger one lives in Birmingham.
Okay. So what are their names?
Mills is my oldest.
Mhm.
And he's an attorney in Atlanta. He's married. And then McLean is my middle son, and he works on Wall Street in New York. And then my daughter is Mary Maddox.
Mary? Okay.
Mary
Well, that must
Maddox.
be her favorite child.
She's 24. And she went to Auburn, and she works in Birmingham.
Okay, so, they're good, yes. Then you and David, you said y'all got back together in April?
Yeah.
Okay. How did y'all get back together?
I saw his name on some app or something, and I just texted him and said, "Hey, how are you?" And then he texted and said, "Hey," he said, "How are you?" He goes, "You thought I got married?"
Yeah.
And I said, "No, I didn't get married." And then we just kind of talked a little bit, and then he asked me to go to lunch with him, and we did. And then
I
What app was that?
loved this
I was
season.
like, "What's happening?"
What was WhatsApp? Okay.
I don't watch The Bachelor,
Yes.
but I watched that one.
Got that in. And then, what does he do?
He's a vice president of, it's called PM Technology.
Mm-hmm.
And so they do projects, manage projects, like mostly like Delta Sky Club and
Okay.
all that. So
Yeah.
he does that. And one of his sons, someone needs to call his
I
brother.
want to. So you said one of his sons.
Yeah, one of his sons works with him.
Okay. How many sons does he have?
Two.
Two? Any daughters?
Oh, they have an Ohio
Daughter
location, y'all.
His older son is Evan, and he's married. He has 3 children. And they're cold. And we're just
About
going to dinner with
70
him
minutes.
tomorrow night.
From my house.
Okay. So to get their phone numbers in here in a little bit,
It's all in my cell phone.
what's your passcode?
193111.
Okay. What about David's? Do you know his? You don't know his passcode?
You don't want me to know this.
Okay. All right. So you're here, and it's very important to me that you're here. You've already said some stuff about why you're here, and that really has been interesting. I really want to know everything. Everything. But before you can tell me that, because I have you here, and you don't know the way out of the building. Like I said, I want to read something to you, okay? But I just want to preference what you have to tell me is very important, okay? So it's basic stuff you've heard before. You're not under arrest. It's just circumstantial stuff, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you for any question if you wish. You can sign anytime to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. But I'm going to preface that with what you have to say is very important to me. I wanna know-
Should I get a lawyer?
Right now, you have no reason to have one, but what you say is very important to me.
Just, I told you, it's just been a bad experience here since I moved here.
One thing, we used to sign right, place your name right here, just write your name, however you write it, and then just your initials. I have a pen for you. Look at your glasses. Just initial those, that's each bullet point. You can reread it, same thing I said. If you place your name on the bottom, Thank you. And so
I paused it at 36:41. I'm going to show you what the mark states 220, if you could just take a look. What is states 220?
it's the Hall County Sheriff's Office Miranda waiver form, and it's the form that I filled out the top and I gave to Suzanne, and she signed it and I signed it, and so did Investigator Cuneo.
So is this the Miranda form that we saw her signing in the video just now?
Yes, that is correct.
Judge, at this time I move to admit states 220 into evidence.
Admitted.
Judge, is it difficult to switch over to the,
So to answer your question, I hit the button.
sorry, it had turned off. I apologize, Judge.
Lawyers in technology. I just,
So I'm showing you states 220. So there's lots of writing up here at the top. Who did all of that?
That is my handwriting.
And then there's 1 through 5 marked off. Is that what you were reading to the defendant?
Yes, that is line for line what I was.
And then down there is a signature. Is that where she signed?
Yes, that is correct.
Typically, would you prefer for them to initial next to each one?
Yes.
Why didn't you press her to initial each one?
She said she understood and she signed the bottom, so that's.
And then right there, it says 4:30. Is that 4:30 a.m.?
Yes, that is correct. AM.
Thank you.
hey guys, please remember to hit the thumbs up and double check that you're subscribed. Write a line in the chat. Thank you.
Before we return to the video now, probably be a good time to take a lunch break. I'll see everyone back at 1:15, ready for continuation of this witness.
Gonna zoom,
Again,
zoom.
please do not discuss the case with anyone. Do not perform any research. Thank you. 1:15.
Didn't mean to put you on the screen.
No, actually, I want to show you guys this part. This is like a voir dire thing almost. God bless you, counselor. It's interesting, this argument. Maybe not. Sorry. Now that I think about it,
All right, lawyers remain for a few moments.
our time would be better used. Is this the defendant? Or not defendant, guy on the stand? What?
All right, welcome
You were
back. Any
allowed
further
to
discussion from the parties?
No, Your Honor.
I really thought that you weren't allowed to talk to anyone if you are under oath and there's a break. No?
I'll hear from the defense. I propose members of the jury, without commenting on the evidence, you're going to watch a video which may be edited for time, presentation, and or legal ruling. All right, thank you. Let's bring them back, please. Welcome back. Thank you for your punctuality. Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome back. You may be seated. Thank you. Oh, yep. Okay. Good. Outstanding. We have everyone. Y'all can be seated. Thank you so much. Members of the jury, without commenting on the evidence, you're going to be watching a video. You've already started to watch some of it. Please understand that this video may be edited or may have been edited for time, presentation, and or legal ruling. Thank you.
What?
And I had, prior to the break, Judge, I paused it at 36:41, and I'm going to resume.
Thank you.
Bad experience.
I have yet to do that now that I think about it.
It was Valentine's weekend, and we got in a fight about the same thing that we got in a fight about tonight. And I ended up getting a DUI. I left. We got a big fight, and he told me to leave or he was going to hurt me.
It just sounds awful.
I tried to talk to him and tell him I didn't want to go and just let it be. And he sat on the steps and told me to go. And I did have some drinks that night, but it was like 6 something because we've been working all day. I fell asleep about 5. I had like a drink at 6. So I didn't drink it all. Then we went to dinner, and I had about a drink and a half there. And we went home. And then we watched a movie, and the movie probably lasted until like 11, and then he fell asleep in the chair. And I got up to my medicine, and I ate my medicine in my throat. And I took a half a Benadryl, and then I lay down, and I couldn't go to sleep because we had a big fight. And then he came, after I got all that, he came in there, and we got in a huge fight. And then, like he did again, he was going to go up the stairs, and so I went upstairs. I lay there for about 3 hours. I couldn't go to sleep, so I thought I was going to go on St. Simon's because I usually get up I usually leave between 3 and 4 anyway. So I got up, got dressed, got all my stuff, put it in my car, and then I went upstairs and he had the door locked. I knocked on the door, and I said I was leaving, and then I got the rest of my stuff and put it in the car. So I walked back in, and I was going to tell him goodbye, and he was sitting on the steps, on the second flight of steps. And he said, "Good, get out of here," or whatever. He didn't try to talk me into staying. And so I left. And
Judge, as previously stated, I paused it at 39:23. I'm going to hit play and mute it until 39:37 for the record.
You guys want to know why she does that? Very interesting. Hold on. So they end up um,
I was
doing
leaving,
the whole like
and,
pausing
our
thing
road is
here
like,
because, or in this interview, Suzanne is talking about her ex-boyfriend who used to beat up on her. And I don't know, apparently there was a huge thing in pre-trial motions about letting certain information come in, like the DUI and the concept that perhaps she was suffering from PTSD from her ex-boyfriend, and they're trying to keep that out, but it they've the cop yesterday even mentioned it. So, it'll be interesting to see where if that door is officially opened or not.
real curvy, that Steve Rogers. I mean, I was fine driving. There was a man and his dog. I saw all that. I mean, I wasn't intoxicated, and I mean, I had drinks, like maybe 3 in all, and it was before 11 o'clock, and then I didn't have anything. And I went, and I've done this twice. It was like a kind of like had a brain fog or something, and all of a sudden I was driving the wrong way, and I was like, and I realized I was driving the wrong, and I was like going over to the side to get off, and like 4 police cars came flying up to me, and I was trying to find my phone to call David to let him know that something's wrong with me, and my hearing aid went out. I was trying to find my purse to get a battery, and the police came up, and I was in that Porsche, and they were like, I don't know, they're lights at me. I don't know. I couldn't even. It was happening so fast. And I couldn't tell what they were screaming at, and I grabbed him in the door, and it was either stay in your car or get out of your car. And I didn't know, and I was sitting there. So I just started getting out gradually. And that policeman asked me, I think he asked me, and I said, what? I couldn't really hear him. And they were asking me if I was hearing, and he grabbed me and just put the handcuffs on me. And then the guy said she hit something, and there was nothing wrong with my car. Like when I picked it up the next day, I couldn't really tell what she was saying. And it was just, and they put me in the police car, and the handcuffs were like just killing me. They were just like all over me. And I asked them if they could help fix them, and they said, we'll be there in a minute. And the one guy got out, and then I got out of the car, and they said he said I was obstructing my arrest or whatever. And I couldn't hear what they were saying. He asked me about a chemical, and he said I refused the chemical. I didn't know what he was talking about, And so then a woman officer came up, and she like pushed me up and slammed me up against the wall. And then a black officer put his foot on my foot, and I said, why? And he said I wouldn't be still. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I was out of it. The whole thing was just crazy. And then they put me in the jail cell, and they made me get on my knees, and they pushed my back down, and they flipped my shoes off and left me there on the floor. And then I stayed there till 3 o'clock the next day.
So I hear about that.
And it was not
Not
good.
okay, not
So
okay.
I had to go today and get a provisional license. I have a blow thing I have to blow into my car. And he was, we're fighting about, when I met him in April, I had just broke up with a boyfriend like in February or whatever. And we talked about, this is way off the subject.
No, I haven't fighting about.
Just, so I asked him like if he had seen anybody, and he said he wasn't and everything. And then we got together, and then he got mad because my ex kept calling me. And then we broke up a little bit. Then we got back together.
Why was your ex calling you,
And then we
girl?
decided to get a house together and all that. And I kept asking him. Well, this whole time he'd been seeing a woman in Romania, and he sends her money every month. And then in August he signed the lease to pay for her daughter's apartment or something. I don't know. And
Girl, you
I saw
do
all the
now.
text on his phone, and 'cause I don't know his code, so he won't. He didn't want me to know it, and now I know why. And I just tried to avoid it. And then we got to fight because I did see it one time when she was texting him, and I just said, I'm too old for this. I live there. And then he asked me to get back with him. And then I realized that I didn't know he was sending money until January. And that was another big fight. We keep getting in these fights because of this woman. And so we got a fight that night that I left. And then tonight, so we got a fight with about and he went into the bedroom
Exhausted.
and got some stuff because he was going to sleep upstairs. And he got his gun out. And I said, why are you getting your gun out? And we went to the kitchen and he said, I just want it for protection. And I said, okay. And so he said, take the strap off the gun. So I took the strap off. He said, this is what you need to get on your gun because I don't have a strap around my gun. And then he said, is this going to, he said, put it in your hands and hold it. Because, I mean, I got to take lessons. And he told me if that gun fits my hand. And then he took the gun in his hand, he took his briefcase and took it on his shoulder. And then I asked him to come, don't go upstairs, just talk about it and try to not be mad at each other and just talk about it normal.
Are we sure
And
she
he said he
wasn't
didn't want
drunk?
to. And, I mean, we had cooked eggs and bacon for dinner. We had that. We were watching a movie. Everything was fine. He fell asleep in a chair and I woke him up. And that's when we got in a fight. And then he went got all the stuff. So that happened beforehand. And,
Sounds a little cray cray.
and then I got up on the steps and he was down there. And I was just asking him not to go sleep up there, but just let's try to fight with him about it. And I said, I'll make a pact that I won't talk about it anymore. And then I said, but they, you know, it sounds so stupid. What's happened? I just told him that I wasn't gonna fight over him. I just said, I'm not. I said, I'll fight over you. I said,
Oh no, she's gonna be playing with the water bottle the whole time.
And then we just started saying things to each other. And
Judge, I'm pausing it at 47:43, and then I'm going to hit play and mute it until 48:22.
So that people don't find out that her boyfriend beat her up. Which just looks bad to the jury that they're trying to keep that information out, in my honest opinion.
he hit me right across here. And then he took that gun and put it right. He said, I'll shove this down your throat.
Hi. So nice to see
Yeah,
you.
that's right.
Hold on.
He told me, don't go to sleep. No, I said, I'm leaving. But I was scared to leave because I had a couple drinks. You know, I wasn't intoxicated, but I had a drink and then I had one drink and then I was still drinking a drink when all this happened.
Yeah, so you're like kind of,
Got my gun.
if you have to literally blow into a system to operate your car, you're really rolling the dice whenever you go out and drink, because you need to be somewhere that if crap hits the fan, you can stay there and not have to worry about a ride. Remember, it's like, what, 22 minutes to the nearest intersection?
And I don't know why I got my gun. I was going up the stairs. He said, he said, I got your phone and your journal. And I was going up the stairs to get them.
more on that here in a minute.
Always sounds so stupid.
It's okay.
I was coming back up the stairs because he's never gotten like this, ever, ever, ever. I mean, he's pushed me a few times, and I don't know if I should tell you everything.
Well, the more you tell me, it helps me understand what happened.
God, please help. I just need to know how he is.
We'll find that out in a minute. So what happened when you went upstairs?
It was like, I don't know if he shot the gun or if he slammed the door, but something like that fly. I don't know, something was really loud. And then he said he had my journal and my gun, and he locked the door when I got up there. And I told him, I said, I'm going to shoot the lock off if you don't open the door and give me my gun. I mean, give me my cell phone. And I stopped the lock. And he must have been standing right there.
Oh my God.
Like, oh, like the noise. You know, I beat on the door. David, I'm going to he didn't say anything. So I ran downstairs in the garage, and there was a toolbox, and there was a hammer, and I got the hammer, and I ran upstairs and I started beating on the door. And I stuck my hand there and unlocked the door. His body was right there. And blood was everywhere. I was just trying to shoot the door off. He must have been right there. I got down on my knees. I tried to go where I was, and then my phone was right there, and I picked it up. I called 911. I couldn't even talk. I was just happy. I'm just a normal woman.
So this woman,
I can't remember if a woman or a man answered it, but I couldn't talk. She was asking me my name.
bye, Sydney. It
And
was
she said
lovely talking to
they were
you.
sending somebody, and they didn't. And then I called again. And they said, can you go downstairs? And that's when I slipped.
What do you mean you slipped?
I slipped on all the blood, trying to go over him. And like blood was everywhere. I shot him. I was trying to shoot the lock off the door. I don't know why I did that. I know better than that.
So
He had my phone, and my journal. And he was going through it.
So can I ask a couple questions then? Which gun was yours?
Mine's the Glock.
The Glock's yours?
Yeah.
And the Beretta's his? Or
I don't know what kind he has, but
so he had your phone in your journal?
that's what he said. He said, I got your phone in your journal.
Okay. What color is your phone?
Mine's blue.
Blue?
Mhm.
Okay. And then,
Mine was out. I think mine was outside by my gun right there.
okay.
Yes, it was laying in the bedroom and I picked it up. I don't know. And that's when I told 911. And then God knows, wait, I was trying to call my sister and she wouldn't answer. And I was sitting right there by him.
And your journal, what does your journal look like?
Just a black book.
Was there something there you didn't want him to see?
No, I mean, just my personal stuff. I mean, just what I write in every day. I mean, I don't care if he looks at it. I don't care if he looks at my phone. There's nothing in there. I don't care.
But what was on her phone that made him so mad?
He said, I'll shoot your brain out of blood stuff down the throat. That's when I said, I've got a gun too, David. But why did I shoot the dog? Why did I shoot the dog?
So when he stuck his gun in your mouth, you don't want
No, he stuck it to my lip.
Oh.
No, he put it in my mouth. No, he put it right on my lip.
And what did he say?
Either he said, shove this, blow my head off, or shove it down my throat, or I can't remember what he said.
Okay, but that was on the stairs.
That was before this, right? I was standing on the floorboard. I was standing on the stairs. Yeah, I was standing on the stairs.
Where was he? The kitchen area?
This lady is
Was he on the bottom of the
a
stairs at this point? Was he in the kitchen area?
once
He was right in front of the stairs.
respected
So the
woman
bottom
in the
stairs or the
community,
middle plane?
No,
61.
the bottom.
Yes.
I was on the stair step right there.
Okay. Now,
All these downstairs.
so where was his gun at when he got it?
And her boyfriend passed
Where?
When
away.
you first got the gun out,
Mhm.
it was in that top drawer by the bed.
So bedside table?
Mhm.
Which side of the bedside?
Yes, on the left side.
Left side facing?
Mhm.
Okay. And what was your gun?
Mine was in the closet.
In the master bedroom?
Yeah, mine was in the closet.
Where at the closet?
It was just sitting out here, like behind my jewelry box.
Hmm.
Why did I touch it? I know better. I wasn't trying to shoot him. I was just blowing the
Ma'am.
And I told him, I said, if you don't open the door, I'm going to shoot the lock off, David. Tell me why you want over there.
What, can I ask you another question, a little off topic? We push sleep up just a little bit. I see something on you. What's that
I
from?
think when he grabbed me, I think my bracelet must have,
Oh,
What about this?
where he grabbed me
Tonight or
tonight. Yeah.
has it happened another time?
That he grabbed me.
Mhm.
St. Simon's where I live.
Yes. When was that?
In, I think it was in,
someone needs to take that water bottle
January?
out of way.
Okay.
Her.
like someone called the police.
Did they?
The police
That was
came.
in February.
So what's your address in St. Simon's?
$129 Bayshore? Is that it?
Well. Is he okay?
I will make a phone call.
I mean, I've never shot anything but a deer. All I was trying to do was shoot the lock off. I didn't mean to hurt you. I've never hurt anybody. I love you. Oh my God, how did this happen?
So, so what, you said you had how many drinks?
I had one drink, and then he made me another one, and I only whatever's left on it at the table.
What were you drinking?
I had a vodka and tonic.
Vodka tonic? Was he drinking also? What was he drinking?
He was drinking. He was Jack Daniels. And then some beer.
Okay. How much did he have?
I don't know. He started drinking about. I was taking a nap.
Okay, so I want to back up a little further than what we talked about then. So when did you come here from St. Simon's this trip?
Thursday.
Thursday night? Okay, what did y'all do today then?
And I'm saying, well, we went to that Smart Start thing to get my device to work. 'Cause
A what
it
store?
it locked or something. And then went to the driver's license to get me a provisional driver's license. I had a DUI. I've never had one in my life.
And to get one at 61. Woof.
So it's crazy. So then after that, we went to the Olive Garden and got lunch. And everything was great today. And then we came back and then we put some chairs, all that stuff in the living room. We were putting chairs together.
Yes. So just say yes. I saw that.
you know. And then I said I was going to lay down, and he said he didn't want to. And I said, okay. And then he went got a blanket for me. He gave me something cold, and I said a little bit, and he got a blanket and put the blanket on me. And then he said, and I got up. He said, you were sound asleep in there. And I said, yeah, I was tired. And then I got up and got on my computers and all my stuff, and was sitting there writing some stuff, and basically writing about the furniture, and everything was fine. And then he fell asleep in the chair. We were watching a movie, and I said that I was going to go to bed, and I wanted to wake him up. And then I don't know how the argument started.
So what movie were you watching?
Ronald Reagan.
All right. And then you woke him up, and then
I said, hey, I said, it's whatever time it was. I don't even know what time it was. I said, hey, maybe it's 11 something. And I just said, hey, I said, maybe it's over. I said, I'm going to go ahead and go to bed. Come on. And he said, he wasn't ready to go to bed. And I said, okay. I said, I'm going to go in there and put on my pajamas and brush my teeth and get my stuff ready for bed, take my medicine. And then he came in there and he was going to brush his teeth. And then we just started arguing.
No reason why you started arguing this time?
Because we were talking about him giving her money.
What's her name?
Her name's Lilia.
Lilia?
Lilia. I don't know.
You said she's Romanian? Does she live in Romania or she live in the States?
She lives in Romania.
Okay.
And he told me that he met her.
I'm still confused about that.
Talk about it. I need to know if he's okay.
We'll find that out in a minute.
I mean, I've never shot. I shot somebody.
She'll figure that out in just a second. Okay. So then, how much money is he sending her a month?
He pays like $3,500 for an apartment for his daughter, which I was like, that's fine. When I thought they were poor and that he was helping her out, and he really does have a good heart. I mean, I help people out a lot, but then he was sending her money, and I found that it was not, they're very wealthy.
When did you find this out?
Because his son told me that he was sending her money 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he found out, he said, this has got to stop, his son did.
Mhm.
And this is, one night I called his son because his dad was drunk, drinking, and I took his car keys from him, and he got mad and pushed me. And I was scared. I locked myself in the closet. And he threw, and I took the car keys, so he was like looking at me for the car keys, and so he like threw all my stuff everywhere in the closet. And I was just in the corner.
When was this?
This was probably like a month after we moved into that house, like in November, December. Well, what happened is we were going to a furniture store that afternoon, and he asked me to give him directions to the store. And I said, okay. And I started looking up, and I said, hand me your phone and I'll hook it up to your car, so go on so I don't have to give him the directions. Yeah. I said, so hook up. And he handed me his phone, and that's when I saw this text from her. And I said, it just seems so weird talking about all this stuff. God, please let it be okay, God.
Was this mentioned in tonight's argument? Was she mentioned in tonight's argument also?
That's one thing we argue about.
Yes.
Everything was, I mean, like before we bought the house, we sat down over and over, and I talked to him and said, is there anybody? I said, I mean, I can't believe you're a good-looking guy. You're this. And he's like, well, so are you. I said, yeah, but I've had my share. I mean, I've had my share. I said, yeah. He said, no, I haven't been with anybody. I'm not involved with anybody. And because I didn't want to buy. My sisters were telling me not to buy the house, not to buy it with him. And I did it. And now I know it was a bad, it wasn't, I mean, he said he stopped it and all that, but it just hurt me really bad, but I mean, I've been hurt before, but I mean, I told him we were talking about tonight about sitting down tomorrow and let's make it a path about it. and let's just not talk about it anymore because it just doesn't fit right with either one of us. But then after that, then he like started saying other things like just being mean, just saying stuff, I guess. Just saying, like about that ex-boyfriend of mine, you know, and just not enough to do any, not enough to, it wasn't like, I don't know, it wasn't like a.
So I'm gonna skip a little bit now. And I'll go, so when he went up to the room, did he physically call you up there, or how did he get you to come up to the room?
We were downstairs, and then he said he was going up the stairs, and he had his briefcase on his shoulder. He had his gun, I think. I'm not sure. He had his gun in one hand, and then the carry thing, whatever. And he had one more thing in his hand. And he turned around to me and said, "Oh, and close your eyes. We're asleep. Close your eyes if I was you." And just said, "Don't. I wouldn't go to sleep or close." I can't remember what he said. And he said, "I'll hurt you." He said, "I'll hurt." He said something, and it made me say, "I have a gun," and I went and got my gun.
So were y'all on the stairs when he said that?
Mm-hmm.
So then you went and got your gun?
Mm-hmm. He said, "David, don't threaten me." And I said, I'm gonna call 911.
And then did he finish going upstairs to the room at that point?
So then he went up the stairs,
Mm-hmm.
and then I stayed downstairs. And then I realized my phone was gone.
And then
I started going up the stairs. And I said, "David, where's my phone? Where's my whatever?" And then I don't know if he shot the gun or he slammed it or whatever. But when I got up there, the door was locked. And I said, "David," I started knocking on the door, banging on the door, "David, give me my gun, give me my gun, give me my cell phone, give me my cell phone." And then I said, I'm gonna shoot the lock off."
So how many times did you shoot your gun?
Just one time, I think.
You think?
I think just one time.
Just once?
I think, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know why I did it. I mean, I know better. I know the safety. I know he was standing right there.
Mm-hmm. So afterwards, after this whole thing, did you pick up the shell casings or anything?
No. You know, when we were downstairs,
Mm-hmm.
he said, "Honey," he said, "Is your gun, he wondered if my gun was loaded." I said, "Yes, in the closet." He said, "Do my gun. Somebody, can you know, however you, I don't know, like you do that." And I did that, and 2 or 3 of the casings came out, and I picked them, and he told me to flush it down the toilet. He said, I said, "What do you want to do?" He told me to pick it up. That was downstairs, though. That was downstairs in the bedroom.
Did the gun go off any of those times?
No, not downstairs. Downstairs?
Mm-hmm.
No guns were shot downstairs. And my gun, I only took it and I said I was going to shoot the lock off. And I didn't realize I fired it. And I fired it. I think it only went off. I think I just did it when I did it. When I shot it, it scared me, and then he made a loud noise.
So you only think you shot yours one time, and you don't remember, did he shoot his off, or you just heard a loud slamming of the door?
When I was coming up the stairs, I heard something. I don't know if he shot the gun or if he slammed the door.
So you only heard one loud thing?
And then my loud thing. I think I only shot mine one time. God, I hope I.
So after that, once you shut the door, after you shut the door, did you pick up that little shell casing anywhere?
I didn't pick up mine.
You didn't pick up yours?
Not that I remember.
Why? Okay. If you've ever had a septic tank or a septic system, you understand the value of not messing with it. Anything that goes wrong with your septic line or your septic tank is like at least $10,000 to repair. The idea that someone would think they should flush live, no, it wasn't. They weren't live. They were shells down a toilet is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And they were found in the septic line, not the tank. So someone was spared by the good Lord above by not having to search through the septic tank.
And I was screaming his name. David, eventually I thought, I didn't hit him. I started screaming. I started screaming his name, and I was banging on the door. They opened the door, open the door, but when he wouldn't open the door, and I was hitting it and banging it, and he wouldn't open. Yeah. So I ran down the stairs, and I ran in the garage, and his toolbox was right there, and I was trying to think, what can I? So there was a hammer, and I picked it up, and I brought it up the stairs, and I started banging on the door.
What color is the toolbox?
Maybe red. He had it out today because we had to start my car off. It's either red or yellow. Red. It's right there, like when you come out of the garage. He has a toolbox sitting right there. Okay. Yeah, because we were over there today because he jumped off my car. Yeah. We're not a bad couple. We're not a bad. He's not bad. He really is not. And, I'm not bad, but
nobody says you are.
I know, but how does this happen? I know not to shoot a gun at a damn door. I know that. I didn't have to do that. I asked him to give me my phone. I asked him to give me my phone. I told him, I said, I'm going to shoot the lock off if you don't give me my phone, David. And that, how am I ever going to live with myself?
Oh, I bet that's why they didn't let her out on bail.
No, I never went up until I had my gun.
Where did you get it from?
My gun.
Yeah, where was it at?
In the master closet.
In the master closet. Is it in a safe or anything there? Just okay.
I just bring it with me when I travel.
Okay.
Can you tell me anything about him, please?
I'll go call it here in just a second.
I actually think that would be a wise thing if you're making regular 6-hour car trips. I don't blame her for carrying that in her car.
When was that?
In January.
In January?
He took me outside.
What is your address down there?
Well, my address is, I use my office address for everything, but my house address is 10 Marina Drive.
And that's where they came to, was 10?
They came to the Seagate Inn.
The Seagate Inn?
I thought it was Bayshore.
And I was staying there. And they came there. Somebody called the police because they said they could hear him yelling, and the police came, and then he took me outside and asked me what happened. And he said, "Did he hit you?" He said, "What are those marks on your face?" And then he told me, I just called the police and called them press charges, and I said no, and then he left. Then the police left, and then David left.
Did they have him leave? Did the police have him leave, or did he leave on his own?
No, I told the police everything was okay. We told them it was okay, and they came in and talked to us, and then he said he was going to leave, and the police said okay. The police left, and then David left, and then I called a friend of mine, and then I went to my condo.
And that was January of this year, 2025.
So, one more question. When you were upstairs, did you, remember how you motioned loading the gun over your, did you do that upstairs or downstairs?
I did know that was downstairs.
Okay.
I think
So, and then you made a comment of flushing something down the toilet. What did you flush down the toilet?
when those things came out, the bullet things came out.
The fired ones?
No. No, when he told me to do that to his gun, and I did that.
Yeah.
And a couple of them fell out, and I picked them up, and he told me to flush them in the toilet.
Okay. So my only question now is, so obviously I've seen the house,
Yeah.
right? And there's just some stuff that's not making sense.
Okay.
And first off, I don't see where there's no shell casings from your gun where you shot the door. I don't know what that would be. Didn't know if
I shot it. I mean, I shot my gun.
Didn't know if you picked it up.
I didn't pick it up.
You didn't pick them up.
I mean, well, I didn't have this on, but I didn't. Not that I, but when I shot that gun,
Okay.
and I heard him, I think I just dropped the gun.
Yeah.
I don't think I picked up.
You didn't shoot any more times?
Not if I shot another time to be at the door, but I think I just shot one time.
Okay.
I don't think I shot it again, but I can't promise. I know I shot it one time.
Mhm.
And I know, you know what, I shot it, maybe I did shoot it twice. I think maybe I shot higher, and then maybe I shot it lower. I don't remember.
What do you mean shot higher? What were you aiming at
Like-
higher?
The doorknob was right here,
Uh-huh.
and I don't think I shot right at the doorknob. I think I may have shot like a little bit. I
Okay.
don't remember.
What about towards the stairs?
No, I didn't shoot to the stairs. I shot at the door. No, I shot at the door.
You never heard any of that? Okay.
I shot at the door. That's the only place I shot.
Okay. Then you didn't touch anything after that other than trying to open the door?
That's all. Just trying to
So
open the door.
what'd you flush?
The,
Think so,
the
Scott.
things that came, the bullets that came out when he asked me to pull that back,
Which toilet you flush those in?
I think downstairs.
So-
Nothing went on with the guns. I didn't do anything with the gun until I got upstairs.
Uh-huh. No, I'm just asking where, so which downstairs toilet? The master bedroom, or which one?
Either in the master or the one right there by the door. There's a bathroom by the door.
Oh, I think that was.
Either, it was either in the master bedroom, I flushed them, or in there. Because I was gonna throw them out, and the trash lady told me, flush it down the toilet.
Who does that? David? Okay. So was anybody else in the house tonight?
Nobody was in our house.
Okay. I was going to, just you and David?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm racking my brain to see, I'm replaying everything you told me, see if I have more questions if you want to know. Do you have any more questions right now?
Doing a little
I haven't seen your house. Are there any cameras or anything inside the house or anything like that? Okay, and then I just want to make sure that like I have a timeline of kind of like some events you talked about. So you and David met in 2019. Wasn't a good time because your daughter was graduating and such.
And we went out probably four or five times. And then in the next couple of years, we saw each other occasionally.
And then you got back together in April of 2024.
Mhm.
And then y'all bought a house together in October of
October
2024. And then in January of this year, you found out about the lady in Romania.
Well, I found out in November, December, when we were going
Thank you for.
to the furniture store, and he wanted me to put the address in my phone.
And that was November, December 2024.
You know what? I think it was maybe the end of, maybe it was in, maybe it was Christmas. I think it was in December.
Okay, and then,
I was just holding his phone and I saw the text and I asked him who that was.
in January 2025. the police
Well,
come to
that's
take
a
my phone because someone called.
fun
January
conversation.
When the police called, when someone called the police, they came to my Seagate place.
Mhm.
And said someone heard a screaming, and then they left, and then David left. No, just, wait a minute, no, yes, that's what happened, yes, that's what happened. Wait a minute, hold on. That's the night my friend. Yeah.
You
I
could
think that
just
was,
stop.
the police came was in December. They came, and then my friend, a couple of they came over and followed me to my other condo. I don't lock the door because David could get into the CA when there was a code.
Okay. And then that was in January. And then you said a few weeks ago, I don't think I got that date. There was an incident here, but you got arrested for DUI when you left.
Yes.
Okay. One thing you mentioned.
I paused it at 127:24. I'm going to hit play and mute and unmute it at 127:50.
Talking about that ex-boyfriend again. I forgot that I had a lottery ticket in front of me.
She asked about video stuff. Who has access to the ring
Decided
camera?
to scratch it, and I
The ring
won.
camera on the door?
I won 3 whole doll hairs.
It's not set up to other than record as.
It's most of it sitting on the table.
Oh, there's one like on the
Yeah,
door.
I don't think it's not set up.
Okay, okay.
That one, there's one that's on the table.
Yeah.
He was trying to work on to set up.
Okay. I just saw the one.
Can you tell me anything?
Yeah, I'll go find out. I will go find out. Give me 1 minute and I'll find out. They should have let me know by now.
This guy is the king of procrastination.
Do you need another water or anything? Do you use the restroom or anything like that?
I'm going to briefly pause it at 128:47. Investigator Mefford, the defendant's asked a couple of times if Mr. Barron is deceased, and you indicate to her that you don't know yet, and you're going to call and find out. You did know that Mr. Barron was deceased at this point, right?
Yes.
Why was it that you chose to withhold that information from the defendant at this point?
So when I first got on scene, I did my walkthrough and she was very emotional on the porch. And then, like I told you, I wrote the search warrant in my vehicle. While I'm writing the search warrant, I can also hear the emotions going on there. And I knew that once I broke that news to her, the emotions, the up and down emotions, I probably wouldn't be able to get any more facts about what had happened this night.
And so when you walk out of the room right now,
You
you
sure
indicated
about
to the
that,
defendant that
bud?
you were going to go make a call to check on Mr. Barron. What were you actually doing when you left the room?
So 3 things were happening really. Me, Danielle, and some other investigators that were there, supervisor, were talking about what we've heard, what other questions need to be asked. I also talked with Sergeant Durham, who was on the crime scene to compare notes about what he is seeing versus what I've been told. And at some point, I don't think it's this break, there may be another break where I did basically communicate with somebody from the district attorney's office about future criminal proceedings if it was the case. I don't think it was this break though. This is just, yeah.
So while you have been interviewing the defendant, was Sergeant Durham on scene processing the crime scene?
Yes.
And so when you say comparing notes, were you
Hey guys,
comparing
don't forget to
like
hit
what
the
he
thumbs up,
was observing on the
please.
crime scene versus what you were being told by the defendant?
Yes.
And is that typical in
Or
an
double
interview
tap
that
your
you're doing,
screen.
especially on a death investigation, that you would do something like that?
Yes.
Why is that helpful for your investigation and your interview?
Because the physical evidence needs to align with testimonial evidence to know that you're being given a truthful and accurate picture of what is taking place.
And at this point, before you'd walked out of the room, had you had a chance to speak with Sergeant Durham yet?
I believe there were a few text messages he was sending, but we did not have a chance to actually have a conversation.
Not like a phone conversation?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to fast forward until you enter the room again. Right now, again, it's at 128:47. During this break, does the defendant ask to use the restroom at any point?
I believe she does in this break.
At some point, does Investigator Cuneo come and get her and take her to the restroom?
Yes.
I think we just saw her exit the room. Is she out using the restroom at this point? We can back up. I'll briefly hit play at 147:57.
And number 2, my stomach is so upset, I gotta go to the bathroom.
I can't let you leave the room right now.
Can you give me the lady or come to the bathroom with me?
But they'll be back in 21, okay? You're right.
Okay.
She's like, oh, come on. We're gonna.
She goes to the restroom now.
Yes.
I'm going to keep fast forwarding. Okay, I'm going to resume the video at 1:57:08.
So I do have a lot more questions. Okay? Still waiting at the hospital.
But is he alive?
I'm not sure. I don't know. But I've been on. the
Liar,
phone with
liar.
y'all, okay, and I'm taking everything you told me in consideration, trying to convey to them. So I'm going to be bluntly about this one, okay? It's not adding up. Right? From what you're telling me,
So tell me what I'm confusing.
why there's no shell casings where you say there are, and the gunshots aren't lining up where you say either. And so let's talk about this. Help me understand this one more time. Let me explain this again, okay?
Okay.
So he's up, let's start with going up these stairs. Okay, start there.
So we're downstairs
Mm-hmm,
on the kitchen, by the kitchen.
mm-hmm,
Okay, he has his gun. That's when he takes it out of the casing, asks me if my hands have a time. If my hand can go around his gun.
mm-hmm.
He told me to take his cover off the gun, take it, take it, so I did that. There was no gun, nothing got fired or anything. Okay, I pulled that thing back. He told me to pull it back.
Yes.
Okay, that's when 2 or 3 of them fell out on the floor.
Just stop pulling back one time?
Now I pulled it back like 1 or 2 times.
Okay.
Okay, and he told me like I was gonna shoot like that if I could hold it, and then the casings fell on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
He told me I said pick them up, and I was going to throw them in the trash can. He said put them in the toilet, and I put them in the toilet,
Mhm.
and I think I put it into the master bedroom of that when we walked back over there, and then that he'd already threatened me, but when he threatened me, he didn't put it. He just touched it to my lips. He didn't put it in my mouth, and then he went up the stairs,
Mhm.
and I said I have a gun too. Because he said, don't go to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
And then I went and got my gun.
Mhm.
Okay. He was up the stairs. Then I noticed that he had my phone.
Mhm.
So I went up the stairs and I said, when I went up to the stairs, I got right to the first floor, and then I heard, and it sounded loud. And I don't know if it was a shot or he slammed the door. But when I got up there, the door was locked.
Ma'am, I do not think
And
those
he
two
was,
things
and I
sound the
said,
same.
do you have my phone? He said, yes. And I said, you open the door. Now I was banging on the door.
Mhm.
And he didn't open it. And I said, I'm going to shoot the lock if you don't open it. And that's when I put my gun right in the corner of the door, like where the lock is right there. I think I put it a little bit. And I either put it up and shot, or I know I shot one down because I saw it and it scared me when I did it. I don't know why I did it. But that is, and I didn't touch anything of mine. I shot the gun, I shot it, but I didn't touch it. I didn't pick, not that I can remember. It was so,
So did you shoot anything else then?
no, I didn't shoot anything.
Did you touch his gun?
I'd already touched it. No, I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it again.
You didn't touch it after you shot him?
I didn't shoot, okay. What you said, shot him, when I shot the door, you mean?
No, when you shot David.
I know when I shot the door.
But did you touch your gun after you saw the
His
shot?
gun?
Yes.
His gun was right there on the floor with my phone. And I got my purse, and I didn't pick it up or anything.
You didn't pick it up?
I'd already picked it up downstairs.
Okay. So after David was bleeding, you touched it?
I got down on the ground. I know I pushed it out of the way.
Kathy.
I know I pushed it out of the way.
Mhm.
But I got down, and then I was like, I crawled up on his side, and I was trying to lift him up. I don't know.
How was he facing that time?
He was, the only time I saw him, he was flat down, and his face was looking at the window. That's why he didn't move.
So it still doesn't count. Like my biggest concern here is why I have other bullet holes.
Where's the bullet holes at? Not only in the.
Well, I don't have shell casings either. Like they were picked up and moved.
I mean,
Are you sure? So let me ask you this. Are you sure that the casings you flushed weren't the shell casings? And when you think they were real bullets? Did you flush the shell
Wait,
casing?
but when I do that,
Yes.
when a bullet comes
After you
out,
shot your gun, did you
In the
flush the shell
state of
casing?
mind she was in.
no. After I shot my gun, I heard him go, oh, or something, made a noise.
Mhm.
And I said, oh my God, David. I'm beating on the door. And then I ran downstairs and I got that hammer and I came up and beat the.
That's
like,
when
oh.
she got
So-
hammered.
Let's talk about the house in general. Is there any damage to the house anywhere that you know about?
There was the only damage should be where I shot that the door.
Mm-hmm.
Where would other damage be?
That's what I'm asking you. Trying to make sense of what I've been told about what you're telling me. And I'm trying to make sense of it too.
I don't think. Did he shoot his gun?
I don't think so. You can't tell me he did.
I don't.
You're not telling me he did.
I don't think he shot his gun.
But your gun was shot a few times.
I shot my gun.
And all the shell casing has been moved, so I don't know what's going on.
So I didn't touch anything. I shot the gun.
Okay.
And I can't remember. I stood like God. I stood like that.
Uh-huh.
And I said, David, give me my phone. I said, I'm gonna shoot the door lock. And I'm trying to remember if I shot it like say that's the door lock. I walked right up to the door. I think I put it up here. I can't remember if I shot it here, but then I shot it right above the door. I know that. But
Okay.
I don't know if I shot it. I think I just shot it once.
And then you made a comment earlier that you're familiar with guns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How are you familiar with guns?
I took some lessons
From who?
from Bill Morgan
Bill Morgan? Where's he at?
in Brunswick, Georgia.
Brunswick?
He made it
Okay.
sound like he knew Bill Morgan. Like, Bill Morgan?
What kind of business he have?
They have a shooting range,
Mm-hmm.
and he gives lessons there.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
take him. I mean, I've only practiced on a target with my Glock.
How many classes have you taken with him?
Probably about 4, 5. I mean, I know.
4?
I know you don't shoot at a door. I know that. I don't know. I would never,
So why did you shoot at the door then?
because he wouldn't give me my gun. He wouldn't give me my phone back.
Would give you your phone back?
He get my phone.
Okay. How did you get your Glock?
How'd I get it?
Yeah. How'd you purchase it?
I bought it
Where?
from that Telluride.
Oh, you bought it yourself? Then?
I have a
Okay.
Glock, 9mm, and a Ruger, 9mm.
What, in that house?
Mhm.
Okay. What other guns are in that house? What other guns are in your house here?
The only guns that are in the house, my Ruger's on St. Simon's. I don't think my Ruger's here. Did they find out?
No, they're just, so, listen, okay? I need you to be completely honest about saying stuff is not adding up.
I'm
And
trying
because
to.
when stuff doesn't add up,
Math
it gives me
and
more questions, okay?
Suzanne.
Because if things happen the way they were, what you're telling me before he died, blood.
Oh, he died!
If he did die, sit down. If he did, because you're telling me, sit
I'm
down.
not laughing at him, though.
No, wait a minute.
Before
He's
he was
fucked
shot,
up.
I'm sorry, let me speak out. Before he was shot, if stuff plays this way, before he was shot, there would not be blood on some of the stuff that there's blood on. But you're telling me certain things happened, and the things you're telling me happened, there's blood on these things that indicate they happened after he was shot. So I need you to be perfectly honest with me about the stage of events of things that happened.
He really let the cat out of the bag on that one. Woo! Bro, you might as well just tell her friggin' truth. You're about to take a one-way ticket to Crazy Town.
When I went there,
Ma'am, use your words. Hey, Harney. Yeah. This is
I'm trying to remember when when I put my hand in the hole and opened, twisted the door. And I couldn't push the door open because his body was right there. And my phone, I think he was walking to the door to give me my phone because it was on the floor. But then his gun was right there.
Right where?
Like, right, like when I walked in, his gun was like right by his leg. And the holder, the gun holder was right there.
Where?
On the floor, it was on the floor. It was on the floor, it was on the floor.
Okay.
And then I came in, and he was just laying there.
What'd you move? What'd you touch?
I touched everything. Probably. I mean, I know I did.
Everything.
I started screaming.
And anything.
I started screaming, and I just moved like all over, and then I went to him.
So, you shot the door, shoot him, and you think that is the shot that shot David, time you shot the door.
Yeah.
And why did you shoot the door?
To break the lock.
To break the lock, to get in? And why did you want in?
I just wanted to get my phone.
Okay, and, so,
What was on her phone that upset him?
It was everywhere.
and,
And I even touched his phone in the back of his pocket. I was like, this, his face was here,
Yes.
and I was here, and his legs were here. And his gun was right, like these are his legs. His gun was there, and my phone was there. And then I reached, he was laying flat back, and I touched his phone. I was all over him. I was hugging him. I mean, I was all over him.
okay.
I didn't even think about anything I was touching or anything, but my gun, the Glock.
Yes. So let me replay this one more time. You tell me if I understand basically what happened, okay? Y'all had an argument. He went upstairs, locked himself upstairs. I'm skipping some of the details. I'm just focusing on your actions. Locked himself upstairs. You went upstairs trying to get in the room. You came back downstairs to get a gun.
I only went upstairs one time.
So you went up the stairs with your gun.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for
I
clarifying.
can remember I said he was going up, so he had his gun out. After I said he walked upstairs with his briefcase on his shoulders, his gun, and then the holder went in. His gun was in my hand, and he had one more thing in his hand, and I can't remember. He had one more thing in his hand.
So you had a gun in one hand?
He had his briefcase. I remember he had the gun in the holster on the kitchen table.
Yes.
When he put the briefcase on his shoulder. He had his gun in the holster. He may have had my cell phone then. I don't know. I didn't see it with it. And then he told me, he said, I'm gonna take this gun and I'll shove it down your throat or whatever. And he says, do not close your eyes or something tonight. I can't even remember. And I said, David, I have a gun too. And that is when I went to go and get my gun. Then I guess when I came back, he was gone. He was walking up the stairs. He was up the stairs. He was already up the stairs.
Yes.
He was already up the stairs. I started coming up the stairs, and I heard a loud noise, and I didn't know if it was. It sounded. I wouldn't say it sounded like a gun, but it was. I thought he slammed the door and locked the door. I walked up the stairs. I went straight to the door, and I was banging on it for him to open the door. And he said, and he opened it. I said, "Give me my phone." And I think he had my journal. He said too. And I don't care if there's nothing in there, but like furniture and just, it's nothing personal. And I said, give me my phone. I said, give me my phone. I'm thinking, what do you wait? I said, I'm going to shoot the lock off if you don't give it to me. And I was standing right at the door. And I took my gun and I think I only shot it one time, but I may have shot it twice, but they were both aimed at that door.
So you never turned around and shot in another direction?
I never shot in the other direction, no.
Okay. And,
all I did was want to shoot the lock off the door.
okay. In this journal you keep talking about, where's the last place you saw your journal?
It's just a little black book. It was sitting beside me on where I was sitting in that chair. It was sitting beside me.
Downstairs in the kitchen? I mean,
No, in the
living
room where I was sitting in the chairs. Mhm.
How big is it?
It's about like that. And there's something stuck in it too. It may have been sitting beside me. It was sitting either beside me or, and my two laptops are right there.
Okay, yes, okay. Yeah, never know.
They called you back.
No, I haven't.
Well, you promised that was you misspoke.
No, I don't know. I mean, you said you shot, and I assumed, I'm sorry. We worked several, like, when I think of that.
I know.
I
I thought the door. I didn't see, you know.
So this is not your journal?
That's it. That's it.
No, I feel like she said this repeatedly.
I went up there to get my phone. I got to bring my gun up there.
So you went up there and got your phone, and earlier you said, like, you didn't care that David, earlier you said you didn't care that, David looked at your phone or your journal or anything. Like,
Yeah.
he had it. I mean, why? Don't do it.
Okay, guys, it's getting to be about that time. I don't want you to leave yet because I have somewhere for you to go. I'm going to be on a show later this evening on my friend's channel. And once I shut down this stream, it'll automatically suggest that you go there. So click on that and set a notification. That will be at 9:30 this evening. And then I am coming back to y'all on Tuesday, but I need to do a members only thing over the weekend. So I'm just not sure what that looks like right now, but there will be something. And I hope that, yes, I'm going on Friday Night Live. As long as I can stay awake, to be entirely honest. I was sitting here thinking that maybe I'll go take a power nap, so that I can do Friday Night Live. Anyways, we are going to have an action-packed Tuesday because we still have 2 hours to go with this. So I will take care of going through the stream, from today and Monday, so that Tuesday we are ready to go through all of the important stuff. None of the boring stuff. This is hit or miss. Like, I feel like I'd be dumb if I didn't play the whole thing for you because something y'all might be able to pick up on something that I wouldn't have picked up on. So that's why I feel like this is important to watch, even though it seems a bit redundant at times. Anyways, if you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit the thumbs up and like that video. Also, if you are watching live or on replay and haven't done so already, please drop a line, comment. You can leave me a full sentence. You can leave me an emoji. Either one is just fine. It helps with the algorithm and lets me get this stream in front of new viewers. So that would be great. And if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I do this every Tuesday through Friday. Next week, I will be beginning at 4:30, and DDS stands for dentist. I will be starting at 4:30. I'm trying a different time to see if that helps. So, yes, Tuesday through Friday at 4:30 next week. And we will be continuing this trial. And I will be doing a fun stream with someone who was at the trial yesterday during the whichever day closing statements are. So I think that'll be a really interesting live show. All right, guys, I hope you have a safe, healthy, wealthy, blessed weekend. And hopefully I'll see you for Friday Night Live tonight, which is where I'm redirecting you after I shut down here. And I appreciate all the support so much. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great one. Thanks, mods. See you Tuesday. Bye. Unless you're a member, I'll see you sooner.